Wait, is there an intro? No, you
No,
don't
no,
have.
no, no. There's no. I'm not fancy like that. No,
Oh, okay.
no
I
like
was like, yeah,
countdown or
oh,
something.
we're
I
straight up
don't even
going
have a
live,
background. Look at this. That is sad.
dude.
Yeah,
You need a background.
I know. I
You
mean, I,
need
I
like a
gotta pay.
Mandalorian background.
I gotta pay StreamYard first, but I'm going back to work Monday, so I don't know. I kind of want to do this like every other Saturday anyway. But
Yeah.
we're live, guys. So I know. I'm sorry we're a bit late, but we're invoking
Well,
our Asian slash Filipino time privileges. So
yeah. Well, it's weird because I have a lot of like, Hispanic friends, and there's like Cuban time, Dominican time, there's like Filipino time. So it's funny because it's like it depends on who you talk to. Like everyone has their own like own time. Like usually with Filipinos, it's like an hour later.
yeah,
Sometimes I heard from my friends who say I don't want to offend any Dominicans out there, but this is from what I was told that Dominican time is like a little bit later than that. So
later than that. Well, Mario
yeah.
said yesterday. I told him I notice every time I go live stream, like
Mhm.
no one gets in up until around 20 minutes later. And I was just like, dude, I don't plan on live streaming for like 2 hours. So it was like, why are you
Yeah.
guys coming in 20, 30 minutes later? In the first like few minutes, there's like five. And then later on, I was just saying, are all my viewers Filipino here? Because and then Mario said, hey, it's kind of like Mexican time too. And Danny's apparently it's just Asian time. So I guess it's everyone's time. So
Yeah, who's always on time though? Which culture is usually on time? I know my mother-in-law, she's Filipino. She's always like an
on time.
hour before. She's not like Filipino. I mean, she's Filipino, but it's like she doesn't follow the Filipino rules.
Okay,
So
so
she's
she's
like she's like an hour early
so
all the
she's just
time.
prompt like that, like
Yeah.
going to a job interview or something. I was on time yesterday. So
Yeah, I actually didn't even know you're going live. Yesterday because I know you asked which day you were going to,
yeah,
you
I
asked.
wasn't I wasn't even sure because I was hoping they'd say today because I
Mhm.
was just like, oh man, I don't know if I can do it tonight. Because I
Yeah.
just because I was just like, did I just because my wife might not come home early 'cause, like she's night shift and it all depends on when the patient comes out. And I was just like, oh shit. But she came
I
home
know.
early. I was just like, I'll just do it.
Yeah. I was gonna say Mario Cortez says I know some Viet peeps that are always on time. That's one thing too is like, if I invite, see, I'm Filipino, obviously, right? So if I invite you to my party, right, to my house party, and you show up on time, dude, I just probably just got out of the shower. Like I'm looking at you, I'm like, dude,
Why?
why are you here? Like you're like I get angry for people that are actually on time.
What is wrong with you? Just
Yeah,
like,
I know what's wrong. Actually, there's one time when I was, I think I was hosting. It was like it might have been my son's communion party or birthday party, one of those. It was some special event, and I remember I actually for the invite, I asked people to come in an hour earlier than the actual scheduled time.
damn.
So like, yeah, so if it was like the time was like 1 o'clock, right, for the party, I would tell people 12 o'clock's party. And then, dude, it worked like a charm. Like everyone showed up on time.
Just because
Just because,
you said an hour and then they're late.
yeah, but I
Okay.
think it was my son's birthday party because it's one of those things where it was timed. Like you only have like the room or the place for like 3 hours, and if
Yeah.
anybody, and that's kind of suck.
Right. Right.
If your friends or your some kids show up late and they're
Yeah.
like an hour late, that means they miss out on so many things.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's messed up. I mean, you can again, I guess you can pull that off if it's a house party because you can
yeah,
stay there forever in the
yeah.
backyard
If
or
it's a house
something.
party,
Yeah,
not a
but if
problem.
it's if you're renting a place, like a restaurant or something, a banquet hall or something like that,
Yeah,
can't do that.
yeah. I was gonna say to anyone that's out there, if you are having like some sort of like event and you need people to be on time, especially definitely send out the invite to Filipinos, like, and change the time to be an hour later, I mean, or an hour earlier,
And advance, yeah.
an hour earlier in advance, and then they will show up on the exact time you want them to show up.
Or do that the day after daylight saving time, so they
Oh
don't
yeah,
know yet. So, so you're hoping that they haven't adjusted their clock. So,
oh yeah, that's true too.
yeah. To answer Midwest collection real quick here, no, Midwest, I'm not gonna get Faramir. He looks like Triple H. So yeah, now I'm gonna.
Yeah, what's up with the asthmas, man? They've been
Yeah,
not so
as
much.
usual, as usual.
There's some promises, and then it's like then they like obviously like the Lord of the Rings Gandalf, that
Yeah,
looks good,
yeah.
but then that was like it, you
But
know.
then again, we haven't seen it yet. Like the Crown series, so we don't know how it's gonna turn out, and it might
I
turn out
It
to be.
looks promising. I saw
It
some
does.
production.
Yeah, and if it looks like that, then they might have something on their hands here. Because it's 350 rooted hair and beard, something that Hot Toys hasn't done. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I just don't trust them. So yeah.
Yeah, I just hope that they kind of, I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know who's collecting these things. I know you do collect some of the
Mhm.
stuff, but I mean, for me, like if I was a Lord of the Rings fan and I look at that and I look at a Hot Toy, I'm like, man, I don't want to collect this. I'm probably just gonna end up like maybe going like buying a statue instead, because why pay for something that doesn't look like, I don't know, Legolas or Faramir, and then you see like Prime One and they do like a beautiful you know uh Legolas.
Yeah.
So
And honestly, before, when I was hardcore collecting them, they were kind of acceptable because the price was pretty low. It's like 150, one
yeah.
sixty. So you kind of swallow, the shortcomings of Asmus. And you're gonna be like, all right, this is priced like a third party, although it is licensed. It was like they're not as good as Hot Toys, but at least
Hmm.
they're $100 cheaper. But now this Faramir is what 215. So now you're gonna ask yourself, God damn, why are you guys almost the same level as Hot Toys, but the quality is so far apart? And like I told you, when people doesn't know, I gave them. Well, I made a review. They didn't really like it, so I told you this before, but I was like, I couldn't, like it's hard. So kind of had a fallout there, but I
Well,
still like
it just
them. Great company though. Like as far as customer service concerned, they're
yeah.
the only ones who listens. The thing is, you could be a saint all you want, but at the end of the day, you're buying the product, not their customer service.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like they just I think they just need to step up their game. A lot of people are stepping up their game, except for them. Um, Maybe Star Ace. I don't know how Star Ace. I feel like Star Ace kind of like almost is like giving up on the
Head sculpt.
figure. Yeah, I think they're just giving up on that and then they're just doing other things like vinyl toys and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that's a good route that they're taking. But with Aspen's is that like they're still kind of pumping out these figures, and you're like, what the hell's going on? I give it to 3-0
Yeah.
for trying to up their game, especially with some of their Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool. But
Rambo is Hot Toys quality, and
I
it's
saw that
one
review.
and
Yeah, I
it's
was gonna say.
180. Like before I thought, Enterbase as close to Hot Toys as you could be. However, they're pretty much out of business. So somebody has to take the second spot. And I thought Asmus was gonna take it when they released Gimli, because Gimli looks like a Hot Toys,
Yeah.
rooted beard, hair. It was like a Hot Toys, and it's 170 or 180 back then. So I was just like, for you to be competitive, you got to lower your price. You can't price the same as Hot Toys and then doesn't deliver like Hot Toys.
Mhm.
But with 3-0 with their Transformers, oh man, it's good. The DLX diecast ones. I know you don't collect them, but boy, they're good. Like
The
Bumblebee.
Transformers. I
Yeah,
did have. Yeah, I did have the Bumblebee, and I liked it a lot. That
yeah,
was really nice, and I was really impressed, and I just like was blown away with that figure. But again, I would have gotten like some of the other Transformer stuff, but
yeah,
obviously I'm kind of like focusing on Star Wars just because it's getting expensive, and yeah, I'm not sponsored by anybody. No one sends me anything, so I buy everything outright, and it's hard to as much as I want to do it for my viewers and for for my subscribers, I just can't afford everything.
yeah.
And especially now with Star Wars just pumping out like so many things, and those are the things I want.
Hmm.
uh I have to pick
Pick a
something.
poison right there.
Focus on something,
Yeah.
or else I'll have like no money for my kids' college fund.
I mean, who needs education anyway? But
Exactly. Let's just hopefully they get the scholarship
yeah. So
for something.
and Irwin says totally agree with PJ. Star Ace just gave up on their quality. I would say though with Star Ace, I think they're still trying to find their identity. And like the thing with Star Ace, I think they are aware that they don't have a mover yet. You know, kind of like Hot Toys. They got Star Wars. I think Star Ace was banking back then with
Harry
Harry
Potter.
Potter. It didn't turn out to be what they expected. I'm sure because I mean, the quality is not right not there yet. And then so I think they're just swinging for the fences right now. They're getting licenses and hoping that they would strike a gold or something. That they got Pulp Fiction now. They're doing this vinyl statue. It looks good, at least on the prototype. Caesar.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're doing compared to Asmus, who is not doing anything. Like they had Lord of the Rings. They're riding on it. But the thing is, dude, your Iron Man was supposed to be like with Hot Toys. They got known for Iron Man. Diecast, it looks great. Their Iron Man supposedly is Aragorn, and you've seen the prototype. And I was just really like, this is your best offer to us. And with at least 3-0, they got so many licenses: Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, and now Transformers. So
Yeah, well now, which is really exciting, is now they got the Marvel stuff.
yeah, whatever. The Eternals, is it Eternals or something like that?
I'm not sure if it's Eternals. It said DLX, so
Okay, yeah.
I forgot. I know there was like some event Endgame. I don't know. I don't know if the chat can tell us. But I know they got like the Marvel the MCU license.
Mhm.
So that's pretty exciting. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't have the license for the 1/6 scales to make 1/6 scale figures. But I have a feeling if they make like a DLX version of Captain America, Iron Man, I think that those will sell and probably be inexpensive.
Yeah.
And I think that would capture more people to collect those figures as opposed to buying Hot Toys, because Hot Toys is getting expensive. I
It
mean, you
is,
have to
yeah.
admit, like you're talking about like an Iron Man that costs like $405 or $450 depending on which Iron Man it is. So to go that route, if that's what they're doing, to go that route and to maybe charge a die-cast Iron Man for maybe 250. Maybe it's the DLX version, but it's a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not, it has its own scale. That is a great business move. And I think some of these companies need to do that because they just kind of have to give Hot Toys the 1/6 crown. They're just not gonna compete with that kind of stuff. Um, so that's why a move by 3-0 is very smart. And I hope that Star Ace does they do the same thing too if they're gonna continue making figures.
Yeah.
Not just jump out of the figure game, because if you're not innovating, moving the collecting game forward, you're just stuck and no one's going to buy your product.
Yeah. Like I said, like they announced like Faramir, which is, kind of subpar figure, honestly. Like it's in terms of like if you're talking about Marvel, maybe Faramir would, for
Yeah,
those who are not familiar with Lord of the Rings, Faramir would be like Nebula or something.
yeah,
Why would you buy Nebula, for example, if there's no Iron Man in stock, which is the big three, which is Aragorn, Gimli, and are you gonna collect a bunch of B characters? It's like,
yeah.
why? I mean, it doesn't make sense, like business wise. But I don't know. I just wish somebody steps up. Like, forget about Star Wars. You're not gonna move Hot Toys with Star Wars and Marvel. So all you got to do is pick up the pieces where they're not, creating figures like the Mission Impossible, for example, the Rambos and
Yeah.
Terminators and all that stuff.
Actually, Irwin makes a good point. About Blitzway. Blitzway makes great products.
Yeah.
And they're always unique in their figures. Like they're like, you know what, we can't compete with Hot Toys because they got like all the licenses, but we're gonna try something else and try to utilize or try to get other licenses that Hot Toys doesn't have, like
Mhm.
Bill and Ted. What
Yeah.
a smart move.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. What a smart move. Like things like that. But then make sure the product that you're putting out is quality, because if you're not trying to like you know, get to Hot Toys quality or better, you're just forgettable.
Yeah.
And that's what sometimes I feel like Asmus is becoming. Like they're becoming forgettable,
Hmm.
you know?
It is
Especially like
frustrating, man.
yeah, especially if you know you got so many good companies like Amesco, 30, Blitzway, and what other like good companies are out there. Um, you got statues now looking like having Hot Toys quality portraits. Like people are going to want to buy those things that are like, that is attractive. They're not going to buy a Faramir that looks like, you know.
The Triple H.
Yeah, you're not moving the game forward. You need to move the game forward to be successful in the collecting game
And
or
Midwest
collecting
here has
world.
a, has a good point. Like so, Asmus orcs are really good. I mean, at least for the ones that I got. So I
Mhm.
got two ones. I got Gothmog and whatever his name is, and they're really good. Like Hot Toys quality, the orc wise. The last orc they did was 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, Lurtz. For those who are not familiar, he's the one who shot Boromir. He's the badass looking one with a hand on his face, with a bow. A lot of people were asking for this in Azog, and what do we get? Faramir. What did we get before Faramir? Elrond. And I was like, dude, it's kind of like if you're a Star Wars fan, you're asking for this, OT Star Wars or Mandalorian, and they keep on pumping out Last Jedi, and I'll be like, dude, what? I
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's again, it's like it's frustrating, and
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I really hope that Asmus steps up their game at some point and do well buffering.
No, I want to put this out because I'm going to do a shameless plug here. I want to give a shout out to Brian. See that logo? He's my first and only member right now. So shout out to Brian last night. I didn't even advertise it, like I
Mhm.
just put it out there. I was filling it out. Honestly, I had no plans to. I was like, because I like we talked about it. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like,
Yeah, I actually surprisingly, with my low sub count, like I'm like I actually unlocked the membership thing.
yeah,
But again, it's one of those things where I don't know, maybe that's why I'm not successful in YouTube, meaning like maybe I'm getting a slow growth, is because I don't like I don't ask for money, like, or I don't do other things that people sell out for.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't buy pop figures because I don't collect pop, or I won't buy every hot toy to build my channel. It's just one of those things. Like, I'll buy the things like I like because that's that's all I can afford, and B, it's just one of those things. Like, if I think it looks good, I'll buy it. If I don't, why would I buy it?
right,
Yeah. Why would I
yeah.
buy something that's like doesn't look good? Like at the end of the day, like I'm gonna end up selling it, and no one's gonna buy it because it looks bad.
And I think that I mean, for both of us, I think we got like several reasons why we're not growing as fast as we could. But like this is one of those. Like, so I put it up. I didn't. E- Another shameless plug. I got the shirt from Teespring, so I unlocked that a while back. So I was just like, all right, so I'll just put a logo, whatever. I'll just put it out there. If you watch one of my videos, it's probably gonna be there too. But somebody bought it, so I was just like, all right, maybe I'm just being an idiot here and not giving, like because when I put in the membership, I was like, who's gonna want to be a member? I mean,
Mhm.
we're just not like Justin or something or whatever. But to my surprise, so I was just like, I was doing it last night and it popped up, and I was like, oh god damn! So somebody knew, because like
Yeah, man.
like on membership, it gives you the task and it says like create an announcement so your viewers would know. And I was just like, oh man, that's kind of like embarrassing or whatever. I was just like, I'll put a period and then I'll delete it right away.
Well, for me, like with my membership, I really want to make sure, like, if someone's like, joining, like, they're not just getting like emojis.
Yeah,
I want to do just something more than that, where, like to unlock the live streams I do, like, because usually when I do a live stream, um, I won't put it out like
yeah,
I won't make it public. I'll just put it as members only because I'm trying to build that up so that like if someone that does join
that's a
and
good
does
idea.
become a member, then like when they join, they could access all the live streams I did before. Also, I was thinking like all the non-Star Wars products I'm reviewing. I'm gonna put it up as for members only.
Yeah.
So like I don't think I told you, right? I actually pre-ordered the which company is that? The J&D Studios Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot,
Oh, the bust? Or oh no, the
the golden armor
armor.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Damn.
I'm getting that in, and that doesn't fit my niche
Yeah.
channel, my super niche channel now. So I was like, well, you know what? If someone is like a member and like loves other things, like they'll be the only ones to access that review
That
video.
video. Yeah.
And anything else that is, I think, like non-Star Wars related, I'll put it up for the members only, so that people like, you know, something like incentive for people
Yeah.
to, I don't know, like put out. I know, you know, $5. Yeah, it's $5 or $6.
No, you
You
can
know,
lower it down. Mine's like really low. I think I put in like 2.99 or something. So it doesn't.
yeah, but still, two
Yeah.
ninety nine, like
Yeah.
2.99 is still a lot of money. I mean, for me, like it's still. I mean, yeah, someone would say, oh, that could be just like a cup of coffee for optical 20 or something, you know.
Yeah.
But I always like, I just don't like taking people's money without, you know, making sure that it's worth it, you
Yeah.
know. So that's what I'm planning on doing on top of like the, I want to do like some emojis where like, you know,
Yeah.
Mandalorian emojis or something like that. So
I already did that, so I got you beat to it. So, but
you
if
did
you
the
want, but if
Mandalorian?
you want to unlock that,
No, you did the Mandalorian?
I did. Yeah, I did. But that's
You
okay. Helmet.
you cheat. You should
Dude,
be doing Lord of the
you're the one
Rings,
who told me to
man.
watch Mandalorian, and now you can't do that. Now,
Come on, man. Nah, it's okay. It's cool. How dare you? You
dude, but
copy
it's
them. No,
yeah,
nah,
I'm
I'm
getting.
happy that you love the Mandalorian, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, but yeah, yeah, I'm thinking of doing like behind the scenes and all that stuff to shoot my
Yeah,
video,
me too. Yeah.
and, like my to how take pictures of stuff. But yeah, yep. So, but hey, man, I know what they're in here. They want to know how I went to the dark side. But before I do that, I just want to ask your opinion on this. I know we talked about last night, but just a few things in here. Uh,
Speaking of dark side.
oh yeah, I saw your review on that.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I love this thing, man. The new one is nice.
look at this, man. I got my second one, which is Danny. Danny Lee. Look
Oh,
at that green button right there. Green one. Beautiful.
you got a member.
Oh yeah.
Danny Lee became.
I'll take
Congrats,
it in a
Danny
second,
Lee.
man.
Hey, save
Danny.
that some of that money for when you become. No, save some of that money, man. So you can become a member from mine when I put it up.
Dude,
Yeah,
awesome. Thanks,
yeah,
Danny.
but you know what though? Shout out to Danny Lee, Air Maestro, Mara Cortez. Those guys are like, you know, one of the main reasons why I do some of the stuff, because they're super nice, super cool, and always supportive. On top of the other viewers that do watch my channel and are always consistently and you know, watching and supporting me. You know, shout out to you guys. Seriously, sometimes like when you're like when sometimes when your subscriber count is not like going as fast as you would like it to do or be, um, you know, I still have those guys that like support me and makes and keeps me going, man. Because sometimes you're like, I don't want to put out another video. Like I
Yeah.
was trying to do like that video every other day, you know,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh man, like it's not working.
I might have to kind of disagree because Mario's kind of like a dick right now. I mean, you've seen this. I made one mistake. God damn it, Mario and Danny. Can you just let it go? Because I mistakenly drew Targa for Lando, and they couldn't let it go. Now that I'm a Mando expert, by the way, this ain't gonna fly, Mario. I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick you in this chat. I don't know how to do that though, so I'll keep you there.
I think you need the paid version to kick someone out.
God damn it.
Well,
Mario,
now you got another member, so
yeah, if Mario, if you can become a member, so I can actually pay for the StreamYard, so I can kick you next time. So that would be great. Thanks.
yeah, you're paying Mario so that he can kick you off kick him off the live stream.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But oh shoot, see, God damn it, man, what the hell am I doing? Okay, hold on. What do you? I know I saw your um. What do you think about this, man?
Oh, you know what it is? I'm pretty sure if they released this thing like maybe like 5 months after the movie got released, I think I would have been excited.
Yeah,
but now it's like, how many years? Is it 2 years later or a year? How many
Yeah,
years?
I've seen it on Stars now, and I think it's on like
No,
any
how many?
show.
Yeah, but seriously, how many years has it been? Has it
I
been a
would say
year?
2 or almost 3.
You think so? It's been since the movie got released?
I would say so. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess, because they're venomizing everything. Like again, maybe I'm sorry, I'm not a Venom fan. I don't want to offend anybody who is like a big, huge Venom fan. So I think it looks cool. Trust
Yeah,
me. I just
I
feel
agree.
like just the wrong timing. Like
Dude,
why didn't they strike the iron when it was hot? You know,
that's
maybe
what I
so,
was saying, man. Like if somebody's gonna try to, like I wouldn't say dethrone hot toys because that's pretty hard to do. But if you want to compete, release early, kind of like them. Not like imagine Venom and who's the other guy from Deadpool?
the
The
other
one with
guy
the
from
robotic arm. Is it Cable or
Oh, Cable, yeah.
Cable? Yeah, that is really like what, like 4 years after Deadpool. This isn't Deadpool 2 or something or 3.
Yeah, Deadpool 2. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
it's been a while.
Seriously, it's been a
I
while.
forgot, the movie. And like
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 came out like years ago, and now you're putting out Cable. That's leads me to believe, man, that Hot Toys is Toys era. Because Toys era released the tank, and there's a huge market for it. So they're probably like, hey man, let's do Cable. Now their thing is
Yeah, again, I guess I wish they kind of did the reverse in terms of the Venom stuff.
yeah,
Like instead of getting like the Venomized Iron Man, like they should have announced Venom first, this Venom, right?
yeah,
So people are starting to get like excited and like and then start venomizing everything and
yeah.
anything.
I
And
mean, looks cool.
it just yeah, it looks cool, but the thing is, like in the beginning, you're like, oh, Venomize this, Venomize Groot, Venomize this, and then now they release an actual Venom. You're like, oh, okay, cool. But I mean, regardless, I think it looks really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
Yeah,
backing the figure. I just wish that Hot Toys did a lot better with their marketing, or releasing their figures or announcing their figures. But this looks cool, man. My only gripe about this figure, if anything, I'm by the way, I'm just criticizing the pictures. I'm not criticizing the actual
yeah.
figure because I don't have it, obviously. But I think since there's a seam right on
Oh yeah,
the
there's a
shoulders, right? And I guess
um
they couldn't really get away from
on the
not putting the seam there
right, right here. It looks like right
because,
here as well.
yeah,
I mean, like, there's really not much you could do, I suppose. So
yeah,
it's not that there's no gap, at least, kind of like with Hulk. I'm sure if you move it around, eventually
yeah,
you'll see some gap. But if like if you pose it, the only, I mean, it looks cool. I would have gotten it regardless because a lot of people are, complaining there's no symbol, but that's how he is in the movie. There's no symbol, so
yeah.
it's fine.
This is still a Sony owned license, right? Like
Yeah,
they bought the Venom license from Marvel, so
yeah,
they own the rights.
right,
So
right.
that's why they probably, I don't know. That's right. They don't have
They don't have the symbol, but
but they should still have the symbol, right? So
it still looks good. I like it. The price kind of turns me off a little bit because it's 405. And I
mhm.
did the comparison to Thanos, which is the Infinity War. It's cheaper. It got also 2 heads, and you can make the argument that the Thanos head is a lot harder to sculpt because here you can mess up with how many teeth he have, and no one's going to bat an eye. But if you go
Yeah,
with that Thanos head sculpt, people are going to be like, well, that's Grimace. It's not Thanos, but
the
hey,
portrait looks good.
it looks
The
good.
portrait, yeah, the both portraits. How many portraits does he have in this one?
Two. They got two, but
Two.
you can interchange like the tongues and all that stuff. So
Yeah, so all this stuff looks really good. The body itself, I'm kind of about,
yeah.
just because of the seams and it just looks. Do you have any more pictures or?
Out here, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good.
It looks good. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm probably gonna get this because it's not gonna be released till, like Eddie says, 2022 anyway. So this is
Hmm.
what, like a good 6 years after the movie came out or something.
Yeah,
Um,
but
by
here's
that
the
time, maybe
thing.
we have Venom too. With a
That's what I'm
symbol.
saying. So here's the thing: is that like what happens in the next movie in Venom 2? You see that he has the symbol.
Yeah, that would suck. But then again, even if it does, for example, now you're waiting till 2025. Like
Yeah.
a good 3 years that you because the movie just came out. Knowing Hot Toys, just
Mhm.
But
You know what would have been cooler? Even cooler is that they should have had like Eddie. Wait, who's the guy in the movie
Tom
again?
Hardy,
Eddie Brock.
yeah, Eddie Brock, yeah,
Eddie Brock's like
portrait
face.
in here, yeah.
Yeah, like it was like
Even just the half, like the half, when he was
yeah.
transitioning, that
Didn't
I
like
would have
another unlicensed company do that or
there
third
is,
party?
yeah, some Toys Era or something like that, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Ross, it's the only gripe figure is that it's not Star Wars.
I agree with you, J. Rod. I so agree with you. No, but it looks cool. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, congrats to those people who are actually going to pick this up. The portrait looks good. Comes with a pretty decent amount of accessories. Two gripes: the seams on the shoulder and the price.
Yeah, the price.
It's $405. That's a lot of money. I mean, I don't know how tall this thing is.
15 inches.
So it's bigger than.
It's bigger than a regular one, but smaller than Thanos. I think Thanos is around 18, or maybe Thanos is 15. Yeah, I forgot.
So okay, so the same size as Thanos, and it's more expensive than Thanos.
Then the Infinity War is cheaper than the End Game, but I would say the End Game is. I mean, as like just looking at it, I'm pretty sure that's harder to do. But this one is pretty intricate itself. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the price. I wish it was $350. But
what's funny is that like people are like, oh, I'm gonna buy this $405 Venom or 450 with tax and shipping, but then when it comes to a life-size Baby Yoda, oh, it's so expensive. It's not worth the price. Like I'd rather buy a $60 animatronic Yoda, and you're like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. It's like life-size statue or like a 6-inch, Venom. So I'm sorry, 12-inch Venom.
This one 3-0. Look at them; they're expanding, man.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like 3-0 is seriously kicking butt, man. They are seriously kicking butt. I tip my hat to them because man, they're just thinking outside of the box.
Yeah, I agree.
What did Eddie say?
Erwin says not gonna get it, but for me it looks good. At least people have the options to get this guy from the movie. I agree. I myself, I'm not. I'm undecided. Like I said, in 2022, a lot of things can happen. I didn't pre-order it because it's 2 years away. But if I have the money at that time, I'll go get it.
Yeah, I think it looks good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bash that figure. I think it looks good. Again, the two gripes I have was the price and the seams. But besides that, everything else looks good. The portrait looks amazing. I'm loving the fact that you get 2 portraits.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things in there that like they didn't had to, I suppose. But
yeah,
another 3-0, man. Look at this. This looks good.
Yeah, that actually looks good. Jamie Lannister.
Yeah, the armor.
Yeah, is this? I think this is the Kingslayer armor, right?
Yeah, I think so because his hand is already whatever. Yeah, I think his hand is like the golden hand now.
Yeah, that looks good.
That looks good. I like it. I mean, my plan on Game of Thrones, I'm just gonna get Jon Snow because I'm not gonna build this entire. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for guys with armors, and this one looks cool. So I might depending on the price.
Yeah.
This one is this is the hit or miss that we're talking about with other companies outside of Hot Toys. I mean, you got Jamie Lannister, and then I mean it's a lot better than their first Arya, but
yeah, I think it looks good.
It looks good. I mean, it looks good. I mean, I don't think it's spot on, but it's definitely a big step up from because the first Arya was just
I don't own I own a 3-0, but I don't know. And guys, I don't know, man. Like I love seeing some of these things. I would like to get them in and review them, but I don't know. If I was gonna do something like that, I'll probably try to see if I can get them like at a cheaper price and just kind of like not even like do a formal review, just kind of like I don't know, sitting down. Okay, hey,
just to get the feel.
Yeah, just get the feel of it. This is like a real quick review.
Yeah.
I think you know what it is too. I don't know. I would like to try because I never owned the 3-0 figure, so that's why it's one of those things where I'm curious.
Dude, the good news of 3-0 as well is it's not too pricey. So if you buy one, and if you just doesn't happen to like it, If
Yeah.
you decide to sell it and take a loss, you're not going to take a massive loss because most of them are under 200 anyway. So
Yeah. No, well, I was thinking of like just even like just trying to be like a scavenger and like look for some of these things like
on
at a
eBay or
cheap
something,
price
yeah.
because now, like, dude, like I could seriously buy some Marvel figures, like Marvel's Hot Toys figures for super cheap.
Oh yeah, they are dirt cheap. Like, well, in general, Hot Toys right now is pretty cheap. I don't know if it's pandemic or whatever, but
Oh, the
even
Star Wars stuff is still pretty expensive,
but
but
Anakin
like,
dropped a lot. You know
it
how
did.
Anakin was like $600, $700 back then. It dropped. It went back to Earth. So
Yeah, it came back down. I think like people are selling their darkside Anakin for like 400, 450.
yeah, if you
Maybe you
if
can
you're
get like,
patient, somebody sold it for like 380, 370 one time. So I mean, but
yeah.
there was a point where he was like insane. So
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm sure it was probably when people were getting the stimulus checks. I don't know, um, but I think I think like now's the best time to buy some of the Marvel Hot Toy stuff because I think you could buy like a group for like 160.
no, I bought a Rocket for almost it was
I
like
mean, I'm not a
160.
rocket.
Yeah, I bought Rocket for 160, but that time I kind of like waited for like the 5%. Sometimes you get like a 5% eBay cashback or something, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
And I waited. So when you calculate that, I kind of bought it for like 150 or something like that because you get like a 5% back. So I mean, I got Groot, which I reviewed it. You guys won't see it, only a members. So that's the bit. No, I'm just kidding. But it's there when I got it. So it's 150. I mean, how often are you going to see a Hot Toys for 150, right? So I got Rocket, and I was just like, oh man, 150, and I still felt like I was ripped off. I felt like that thing should have been 120, and I paid only 150. Imagine if you paid
Wow. Still.
230 for that because it's so small. With that being said, that Yoda, the quarter scale Yoda, that would be a ripoff if you buy that. Like
Oh,
the one
the
that's
Baby Yoda.
included, the baby Yoda that's included in the quarter scale Mandalorian. If you buy it separately,
Yeah, that's a waste of money, actually, to be
yeah,
honest. And I'm
it's
not sure why you would buy even separately because there's not like, um, there's a statue out there, a quarter scale statue that doesn't come with Baby Yoda.
yeah,
Like, like Sideshow, they included Baby Yoda in it.
right.
So how are you going to display that quarter scale, Baby Yoda figure without, I don't know,
Mando. I mean,
Mando?
even for the hardcore Baby Yoda fans, like, hey, you know what? I don't have money for the quarter scale Mando. I'll just buy the quarter scale Baby Yoda. I was like, don't just buy another Yoda then. Buy the cheap ones because I mean,
Just for $100 more, you might as well. Wait, is it 170?
170. So plus tax and shipping, you're probably looking at almost 200 here. So
Okay, so maybe like another $200 more and just get a life size Baby Yoda.
yeah. Or if you really can't produce $200 more, just don't buy any Baby Yodas for the moment. Just
Or just buy the animatronic. Like
yeah,
actually,
bucks.
yeah, I had the animatronic,
Mhm.
and actually, surprisingly, I have a lot of Baby Yoda stuff.
I'm
Not
not
because
surprised.
of
That
me,
sucks. Uh,
because of my kids. They love Baby Yoda. So,
mhm.
the only thing that's mine is the life size Baby Yoda child statue by Sideshow, which I got. I would say, yeah, a couple days ago. I'm still editing it, so I gotta finish editing it, and I'll put out the review. And can't wait to get the Hot Toys version and do the comparison.
Wow.
But really quick thoughts on it. I think it looks great. It's definitely worth the price. It's such a good price for that life
Mhm.
size statue. The only gripe is um, the rosy cheeks.
Yeah.
I got mine, and it was like overly painted.
Saturated. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with mine. The guy was like, he was probably spraying it, spraying it with the paint, and then like someone probably distracted him. He's like, "Oh, huh. Oh, lunch. Oh, okay.
Cool.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll be right there." It's like,
In fairness, though, every single one that I've seen kind of has like a rosy cheeks and like. So I watched the show, the entire show, right? So I was looking for that. Does he really have rosy cheeks? I mean, you can see it on some close-ups, and maybe, just maybe, the actual prop really has rosy cheeks like that. The thing is,
they
when you
probably like They probably CGI or like they probably like edited it out or something.
Yeah, the thing is, once you create a movie or a TV show, you're gonna put a color grading after it. So maybe you're
Mhm.
gonna pull the reds down because depending on the scene, they're heavy on blue sometimes at night. They're heavy on yellow and orange when they're in the So maybe we can't see it. So if we can't see it, why put it out there? That's my thing. It's like we want what we
Man, look at that,
see.
man. Look at optical. You and your filming skills,
Hey
man.
man, dude, color grade those stuff. But dude, that's why. So all right, so because of this guy, so I know why, this because of this guy I watched Mandalorian. So I was
Oh,
like,
thank God, finally. Oh my goodness, dude.
so, so I was just like, all right, before I go back to work, which is on Monday, I was like,
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay,
watch
cool.
this. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna watch this. All right, so I'm gonna give it a shot. I was just like, I don't know. I bought Disney Plus like a week later. I was like, I still haven't touched it. So all right, let me play the first. One of the things I didn't like about Star Wars was there was no badass moments, so to speak. Like even Luke Skywalker, I just feel like he's a Boy Scout. Like he never gave me a moment where it's just, I'm gonna kill everyone. You kind of want to.
Yeah,
I want to see that. Like the John Wicks and the Equalizer or something like that. So,
yeah.
dude, first 5 minutes when he was in the bar, I was like, this is fucking John Wick because he's in a bar and this guy was like harassing him or whatever, and then
Uh-huh.
he basically kicked his ass, and I was just like, all right, first 5 minutes, I'm already in. Okay, all right, cool. So I just watched the entire first season. Basically, I finished one season in like 2 days, maybe a day and a half. I stopped like maybe like see episode 4, but I just got so I'm with by watching that. I wouldn't say I'm gonna go back as I do have all the DVDs for Star Wars. I wouldn't say I will go back and watch all the Star Wars, but I would definitely continue watching Mandalorian, and I'm gonna try to learn as much as I could. It's because of the character. I would say
It,
there's few things there that is not present on the old Star Wars that I didn't like in the first place, and it wasn't present on Mandalorian. So
yeah, and that's one of those things for me is that as a Star Wars fan, to see another person get into Star Wars is such a great feeling. I know there are some Star Wars elitists that make it harder for other newer Star Wars fans to get into the franchise or watch the some of the movies. But for me, I'm always like, oh, the more Star Wars fans, the better,
yeah.
and because you share the passion and love for the franchise with other people, and for some reason we couldn't get that with the sequel trilogy. I feel that it was one of those things where it separated not only the old fans from each other, it also separated the new fans and the old fans because there was such a disconnect of trying to, I don't know, connect like the lore, the Star Wars lore into the new movies. And at the same time, they're creating something new where I don't know, like it just didn't make any sense because there was like such a disconnect from movie to movie. Uh, and for me, what works with the Mandalorian, which works with the MCU, is that there is this lore, this Marvel lore that they they put it into the movies and they make it like Easter eggs, right? Like
Yeah.
only a hardcore fan
You know.
will notice,
Yeah.
but for a casual fan, they won't notice, but it won't
It
hurt
won't
their
matter.
experience
Exactly.
of watching the show.
Yeah.
Like it's not like an information that's so vital that would only a hardcore Star Wars fan can get and can understand the full story.
Yeah.
And the sequel trilogy didn't achieve that of like trying to connect the casual fans and the hardcore fans together. They separated them more.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
divided them more. And Mandalorian does such a good job with just connecting, just bringing everything together. And guess who is doing all that? Is John Favreau. He
Mhm.
did that with the MCU. Now, I don't know about you, like I am a Marvel fan, a huge Marvel fan. I read the comic books, but would I say I'm a hardcore Marvel fan where I know every single story in the comic books and in all the multiverse and all these things? No, I wouldn't say I'm that hardcore of a Marvel fan. But one thing what the MCU did is that it kind of brought all the hardcore fans and fans like me who are casual Marvel fans together so that when they're watching the movie, they see a little Easter egg here and there and it like pleases the hardcore Marvel
Yeah.
fans. They're like, oh wow, cool. Did you see that? Did you see the ring? Did you see that? That makes this and that and that. And that brings up conversations with the casual fans because the casual fans will say, hey, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean when you see that part there? And the hardcore fan would be just excited to explain it to them, like, oh, this is that, and this is this. And same with Star Wars, where a hardcore fan, you know, sees another like casual fan, and they explain to them, like the Crate Dragon. You watch
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that Crate Dragon such has like an intricate part in the Star Wars universe and lore because it's like one of those legendary creatures in Tatooine. And to see that in the big screen, first of all, and just it's just so amazing, because you don't really get to see that, um, a lot. And to explain like what the crate pearl does, what a crate scale to some of the fans that don't really know much about that. That's just for me. That's exciting. Like
Yeah.
a crate pearl. I don't know if you know,
No.
optical. A crate pearl is used to create a lightsaber because the crate dragon eats a lot of rocks and in the sand
Mhm.
and stuff. And some of them might have a kyber crystal in there, and it crystallizes and makes like into a pearl. So
That's the
I
one they
guess.
found when they opened the thing, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so it's a little Easter egg. Oh, well, look, there's a pearl. Now, to someone that doesn't watch Star Wars, they go like, "Oh, they found like a cool looking pearl."
I
Okay,
thought it was
cool.
his egg.
Or
Thought it
oh,
was
what?
pregnant. I thought it was pregnant or something. The dragon was
Oh,
pregnant
yeah,
initially.
but
Yeah.
still, it's not like a vital information that you need to
Right.
know. But for me, it's like, oh my god, that's a crate pearl. Like that's what they use to create a lightsaber. A crate scale is actually used to make armor for because it's impenetrable. That's why they were shooting at the belly of the beast
Mhm.
because that's the only way to kill it.
Yeah.
You can't shoot it from outside because their scales are so thick. It's
Mhm.
impenetrable. So things like this, we're going to explaining it to someone who doesn't really follow Star Wars is exciting, and it brings us all together. And I'm just glad that the long story short, I'm just happy that you're watching it, and I can share my passion and
Yeah.
love with you. That's it.
With your point though, this is where I find it really awesome. Mandalorian, because like honestly, one of the few reasons. Well, there's a lot of reasons. One of the reasons that I never really want to dove into Star Wars was I feel like it's a lot of work. Like, hey man,
Yes,
to know this, you got to go back here, you got to watch this. And I was like, and initially, like you'd be like, man, that's just a lot of watching. I at first and foremost, I don't have any ties to the franchise. It's like me watching the first episode would be a task. Now you're asking me now to watch a backstory of the backstory. I would say the beauty of Mandalorian is you can just pick it up, not watch any Star Wars movie ever. And like you said, if you're a hardcore, you would see those Easter eggs. But you know what? Like myself, who's not, I still enjoyed that dragon. I thought it was a cool
exactly,
dragon.
and that's and exactly to my point is that Easter eggs, you're pleasing everybody in the
Yeah.
fandom, and that's why I love this show because Star Wars before the Mandalorian was such in such a dark place where we were all divided and we didn't like how so a lot half the fans loved how the sequel trilogy went and half the fans didn't, and to have like the Mandalorian come in and kind of bring everyone together. Everyone loves Baby Yoda. Everyone loves Mandalorian. Everyone loves the show. You don't have to be hardcore Star Wars fan to enjoy the show. And if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, there's so many things in the show that makes you want to watch it even more. And that's great.
Yeah.
I love seeing the fandom, the Star Wars fandom, be like this. And the way the way it is giving me more merchandise to buy. It's good for me, but not good for my wallet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now, dude, they are pumping out so much Mandalorian product, right?
Mhm. Right.
Like, dude, there's like freaking Baby Yoda Crocs.
Yeah.
Like, are you
It's
kidding me?
it's
Like,
it's crazy.
there's makeup, there's like shoes.
Yeah.
I bought shoes the other day, like two pairs.
Oh
My
yeah, I
wife
saw
bought,
that, the Adidas ones. You
yeah,
bought
dude,
the
like, are you kidding me? Like, these shoes are like awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
these are nice.
Dude, I saw the brown one that you just put in. Yeah, I'm just gonna answer brawl you here. Yes, sir. Well, I am gonna pre-order. Here's the dilemma that I do have. So I'm in now with Mandalorian. So I work in finance, and we're supposed to think logical. Weigh in the risk and reward. But when you collect, that gets thrown out the window because your passion kicks in. So this is my biggest, I would say, it's not a biggest dilemma, obviously, but my logical side tells me, I was just like, man, I gotta wait for the Beskar version, because technically the first one that they released, first and foremost, the stormtrooper head, he wasn't wearing that armor when he was walking. He already has the Beskar. Second, he wore that look for like an episode, maybe and a half, not even half. After he got the baby, he's all Beskar. And now I'm asking myself, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go Beskar armor. I was like, God damn, that's in April. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So it's just like, all right, I'm gonna get the brown version, and I'll figure out what to do with it once. Because my fear is that I honestly like the brown version better, like the OG look. I think he doesn't need the Beskar. I think he's more badass without the Beskar. Honestly, I like
Yeah,
the
me too.
worn out look. It's like he's they projected him as the one of the greatest warrior ever, like the clan. Why would you need more armor? Kind of like just kill them with your hands or something. You don't need those gadgets. Kind of like the armor, just kind of okay. It's kind of like Golden State Warriors getting Kevin Durant. I was like, dude, just have a weakness or something. So I kind of want him to wear that, and maybe there was a point where he's still gonna go back to that, because he's too powerful now, kinda.
Yeah.
Uh, I prefer that look, but then again, the more iconic look is the Beskar, obviously. So
Well,
I'm
I
gonna
was
end
gonna
the note.
say, I was gonna say, I kind of been telling everyone, because they would hit me up and say, "Hey, PJ, should I get the non-Beskar armor?" I don't know, because I really already pre-ordered the Beskar. I could only buy one. To be honest, like I always say, it's like, buy it now,
Mhm.
enjoy the figure,
Yeah,
and sell it
so
later. If you really don't want it, keep it, sell it later, and get the Beskar one. And when you probably sell it, if you sell it at the right time, where
yeah,
the
you have to
Beskar,
wait a little bit. Yeah,
the pre-Beskar is sold out everywhere,
yeah,
this thing will skyrocket, man. I'm
right.
telling you, because it's such a it's such a unique armor, and it's only worn for an episode and a half, that it's they're not going to make this anymore. That's it.
Yeah,
This is the only time you're going to get a pre-Beskar armor version Mandalorian. Nowhere else. I don't think Hot Toys is even going to consider reissuing this figure, just because they're probably going to be focusing on releasing more Mandalorian figures in the future, especially when more seasons come out.
mhm, yeah,
So yeah, if good thing that you bought it. And again, if when April comes around and the Beskar armor version comes out, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to keep this. You could probably sell it on optical and get your
yeah,
money back and then some.
right. But yeah, like I mean, a lot of people were like, it's funny because yesterday I like live stream, and I would say most of my not all of them, most of my viewers does not like Star Wars. That's why they watch me, and I
They
got
don't like Star Wars.
for the most part, I got text messages and like PMs like on Instagram. I was like, dude, we're gonna hear Star Wars from here on out. I was like, no, it's not gonna be the case. I'm not gonna be. I'm knowledgeable in Star Wars. I would talk about it here and there, but if you want Star Wars talk, like go to Six Scale. I mean, Rogue. What's your channel now? You got a new one, Sitcast.
Oh, Sitcast. Yeah.
Sitcast.
Well,
Yeah,
Sitcast is just basically my Star Wars podcast, where it's not just talk about collecting, but we talk about like Star Wars.
yeah.
But I mean, in my channel too now, I'm just focusing on Star Wars
Mhm.
now, which is great because there's so many like Star Wars products that's coming out. And like I said, yeah, if you guys like Star Wars, you can
Yeah.
come to me too. But there's nothing wrong, man. Like if you start reviewing some of the Star Wars figures,
Oh,
I
there.
mean,
No,
'cause
definitely.
yeah, because I was gonna say your channel's you know
I reviewed Star
well
Wars
rounded.
before,
So
like I for somebody who doesn't like him that much, I mean, before Mandalorian, I wouldn't even say I like Star Wars in general now. I love Mandalorian. I would say that, like
yeah,
Mandalorian didn't made me want to well, kinda. I'm not gonna watch the OT because I don't think Mandalorian is related to that at any
Mhm,
point, right? Like I'm not gonna learn anything Mandalorian in the OT. But
mhm.
I think Mario and Danny told me go back at least episode 1 or something to know something, or at least the prequels. I don't know. Is that true?
Yeah, you can watch the prequels. Not so much. There's not a lot of Mandalorian things about it there. Um, they'll mention Jango Fett, and you'll probably know that Jango Fett
Yeah.
is the father of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But in the most part, like you could watch like the Clone Wars, but I sent you that list where it's not like where you're watching every season, every episode in every season. It's
Hmm.
kind of like breaking down like the essential episodes that you need to watch. Because one thing about Clone Wars is that it's very like it gets down to the nitty gritty of Star Wars. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of drawn out. So I would recommend watching the essential episodes, the ones I sent you. After you watch that, watch Rebels. Rebels, you could probably watch every episode of every season, just because it's just a fun show. It's a good
Mhm.
storyline. It's just like Mandalorian, where you don't really have to know the original trilogy characters. You don't really have to know some of the prequel stuff. I mean, it's good to know, but they do it such a way where they kind of you could kind of like you don't have to watch it. So, but Mandalorian, man, they do such a great job with that show, because it's one of those things where you don't really have to know what a Jedi is. That even in the
Yeah.
show they kind of call them as sorcerers, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
these
Yep. Yeah.
sorcerers, and they're not like just Jedi; they're the sorcerers,
Dude,
and
and
that's such a
I'm glad that honestly, I mean, this might offend some people off, but that's kind of like one of the things that kind of turned me off there. It's like you're having a sword fight, you can choke each other without, like you have corona. You don't have to get near each other. You're still having sword fights, and it's just like too much for me. But I haven't seen that in Mandalore. As a matter of fact, they haven't introduced a lightsaber yet. At the end where Gus Fring just opened
oh,
up,
with a dark saber, yeah.
yeah, with a dark saber. So I kind of like the at least the setup for now, where there's no like uh
Well,
magic things like that. So
yeah, but it draws a lot of aspects from like some of the Akira Kurosawa
mhm,
movies, right?
yeah,
Like it feels like The Lion and the Cub. Like it feels
yeah,
like like remember like in the Philippines, you would watch all those old samurai movies at
yeah,
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
mhm,
And this is my I'm judging it. I'm trying to remember the times where I used to visit the Philippines, and I'll be like hanging out, and then there will be like some samurai or Japanese movie that shows up around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll watch it. So it feels like something like that, like
yeah,
where it's like they're building the character. It's a lone wolf. He's just kind of like trying to go from village to village, and so you get like that kind of like storytelling with the Mandalorian, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
And again, such a good character building, such a good setup, and I'm loving the fact that you love the show.
dude.
And
Wow, the
I've been
first
telling
15
you to
minutes,
watch this thing for how many months now?
I
3, 4 months.
I was
And
kind of like, oh man, Star Wars. I'm gonna watch Star Wars. But first
yeah,
15 minutes, I was like, oh man. So I dusted off my old boba because I was planning to sell them because I was just like, man, not boba. Yeah, boba. Um now he's staying with me now. So I
yeah.
even bust him out, dust him in the mouth because I was just like, when am I gonna get Mandalorian? So I have an itch now. So I just busted this guy out, started taking pictures of him, and I was just like, all
Oh,
right.
the Return of the Jedi one. Now that I think that people are going crazy looking for that one.
Yeah. Well, that's him, right? Like the guy at the end, whatever
Yeah,
his
that's
name is.
him. I
Yeah,
That's him.
that's
Some
him.
people were saying that's Commander Cody and some other, because Boba is a clone of Jango Fett,
Right. Yeah.
right? So though the same actor that played Jango Fett is playing Boba in this show, and they were saying, oh, that's Commander Cody, which is also another clone
Mhm.
from he is like a commander, obviously,
Yeah.
um, of the clone troopers, and they all look the same. They all look like Boba. They all look like Jango.
Yeah.
So some people were saying that like that was Commander Cody. No, it's not. Like you see his face, he's got no eyebrows,
Mhm.
right? That's probably like from like all the acid in, because Boba got eaten up
By
or
the
swallowed by the Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc. Yeah, yeah.
By the Sarlacc
And
pit, man.
that's kind of like a weird coincidence. It was like, all right, that is I don't know Star Wars, but I'm pretty sure that's Boba's armor. And then
Yeah, that is
somebody that
Boba's
looks
armor.
Boba is in the back. watching while he takes away the armor, and that's not Boba. Like, dude,
Yeah,
that
that's
sucks.
some that's just Commander Cody and like looking at the armor flyweight. I don't know, but
Yeah,
like but you see like the armor, like it's like there's like a lot of the paint is like peeled off. It's weathered. It's broken down. It still works, which is great. That shows you how strong. I guess I'm guessing Boba's armor is Beskar armor, so you can see how
mhm,
strong Beskar armor is,
yeah,
and also shows you that like I guess the acid in the Sarlacc pit's stomach like corroded or eroded the paint off of
yeah,
Bulba's armor, but at the same time eroded or like burnt out Bulba's eyebrows because when you see him turn around, he's got like no facial hair.
yeah. Because the
He's,
thing is, maybe it's not made out. Like maybe the helmet is made out of Beskar, but there's like a glass in between, right? That couldn't be Beskar, right?
yeah, yeah,
Maybe,
maybe like the acid like went on
yeah,
like
kind of slid in there or something. I don't know,
I don't
but
know, but
yeah, that's the good thing about that because like back then, so I was watching it, and obviously you can watch it without researching. Honestly, like for those who hasn't watched a single episode of Star Wars, I would recommend you pick up Mandalorian's like a game from the 80s. You can pick it up and go. You don't need a backstory or anything. Just pick it up, watch it, enjoy
mm,
it. And now, the deeper you go, the more questions you have. The more questions I did have, so I started like watching YouTube videos and like some backstories. I don't even know if they're true or not, but I mean, that's I guess that's the fun part of it because for someone like me who I've seen it. I've seen every Star Wars movie. Never really, got heavily interested in. I love the design. Like that's one thing that I would say to Star Wars is, man, they got beautiful design. So I bought Darth Maul and Boba. Obviously, that is without having any attachment. I just know their place on pop culture history. They're beautiful, and I think honestly, I think Mando has the chance to merge the like the fans who are kind of like iffy about Star Wars and merge them over to this one because I think what they did to the sequels, they dumbed it down for people like me, which I didn't really had any problems with the sequel. I just didn't fell in love with him. With Boba,
yeah.
it was different. Like I didn't have problems because I wasn't too connected to the characters. I can understand your frustration because you love these characters. I didn't, so I was just like, it was okay. It's all right. But I
Well,
never
that's what
really loved them.
Well, that's what the producer initially wanted to do was basically, I think, I don't know if she was quoted as saying is that she didn't care for the old Star Wars fans anymore. She wanted to look and try to capture the new ones.
Mhm.
And that's why she made it seem like, okay, like who cares about like lore and all these things, and let's just try to make new Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
But that's not how you do it. MCU did it, man. Marvel did it,
Yeah.
where they like captured both.
Mhm.
So why do you have to forget about the old Star Wars fans? Because you need them to explain some of the stuff that like you got to help. You need them to help explain Star Wars to the new fans, and that's how you bring them together. Because and that's like a good family talk during dinner time, right? Like when
Yeah.
your son is asking you, "Hey, Dad, like." I just watched The Mandalorian and they showed this great pearl. What is that? Oh,
Yeah.
son, this is, let me tell you. And, that's just makes good conversation and brings, like fans and families together, and that's what was lacking in the new trilogy. It was just like, it was all over the place. They didn't know what they were doing. Um, but at the same time, is that like, with the Mandalorian, and I'm just going to refer to Louis R.'s quote: "The ignorance of Jedi doesn't make any sense." There's no ignorance, actually. I just think that they don't want to introduce them right away. They want to make Mandalorian look pretty badass, because if you introduce a Jedi and into early into the Mandalorian, people are going to be like, I don't like the Mandalorian anymore because this Jedi just destroyed him, like
Right.
forced like pulled him
It
up in the air
crushed
and threw him
his
out.
helmet inside his head. There's
Yeah, like crushed his helmet or something like. And you just don't want to do that. Like you want to introduce like this is like a Mandalorian show. This is not like a Star Wars Jedi versus Sith show. And this is like a great way to slowly bring like fans like optical into the Star Wars universe. You don't want them. You don't want to like get them confused. Like, oh wait, the technicalities of the Force and the technicalities of the Force push and all these things and the Force aura and like how they're pushing each other without doing anything. What is this? You
Yeah.
don't want to bring that confusion, that that
That
that
part
stuff
of it.
in yet. Just because with the Mandalorian, it's pretty straightforward. It's a gunslinging show,
Yeah.
right? Like he's got cool equipment. They're shooting hooks, flamethrowers, shooting pistols, awesome
Yeah.
guns that disintegrate Jawas. Like to introduce
Right.
like a lightsaber and force, then you're taking away the essence of the show.
Right.
So,
And
I'm glad that they
like
didn't
I said,
introduce the Jedi yet.
if I maybe in the first episode, if I see a Jedi walking around and it was like, oh, I probably would have gotten turned off, honestly, because they're one of the things where I kind of like, like there's too powerful, and I want some challenge, like that's why Superman for me was kind of like, come on, man, you just how are we gonna beat you, I
Yeah,
would have probably be turned off if I saw like a Jedi right off the bat, and I'll be like, "Oh man, I just want to see this." I mean, even the way he shoots, it's like a cowboy. He looks like he has a six shooter.
mm,
Mandalorian. He doesn't even use the scope or something. He just shoot from the hip, and that's kind of cool.
yeah,
Mhm.
and also in terms of the Force, like you see Baby Yoda kind of using the Force, and
Yeah,
like, but at the same time, like you're kind of like viewing him using the Force through the Mandalorian's eyes, right?
yeah,
Because Mandalorian was like, "What the hell's going on here?" You right?
and
Like,
yeah, and I think that made Baby Yoda special because imagine if there's other people around him using the Force, kind of like, well, you're not that special. I don't know what they need from you.
yeah,
But now that no, we haven't seen one, and for somebody, I know what the Force is. But if my wife comes in, I was like, oh yes, magic. You'll be like, oh, is that what they're protecting him? Kind of like, I think that's what they're trying to get into now.
yeah, like he's special. Like there's something
Yeah,
special about the child, right?
right.
And that's why Mandalorian needs to protect him and bring him back to the species. But like I just love the fact that like when you watch a show and you see Baby Yoda use the Force for the first time, you're seeing it through Mando's eye. Because you saw Mando was like he was gonna get killed by that big like elephant,
Yeah,
like the rhino
the
with
Rhino thing. Yeah,
bloodborne. And you're like, whoa. Like for a new fan, I mean, I don't know how you felt when you saw that. I'm pretty sure you kind of had an
yeah,
idea of the Force, but for someone who doesn't know any Star Wars, they're like, whoa,
yeah.
what's that? But they had the same reaction as the Mandalorian in the show because he's like,
Mhm.
what the hell is this sorcery, right? Like they
Yeah.
call them sorcerers. Like, whoa, what is this? So
I would say if they're gonna do that, they gotta do it gradually, because at some point they gotta introduce, the Force and lightsabers. Or they
yeah,
might not have to. They might not have the Mandalorian might be on a totally different spectrum, like it might be a different part of a planet or something that very few
yeah,
exist, so
yeah. But I think they're going to introduce it in this season because
Mhm.
a lot of people have watched the first season. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
like, dude, like I watched the first episode of season two, like right when it like premiered, right? Like at 3 o'clock. Did you know that there were so many people watching around that time that I couldn't get in? Like it was giving me an error.
Mhm.
Um, but that just shows you that like the Mandalorian captured so many non-Star Wars fans like and brought them into the Star Wars universe, which is great. Dude, I know this guy, like he has no idea or no idea what Star Wars is. And he watched The Mandalorian and he loves it. And he loves it. Like that is awesome.
Yeah.
You know. And again, it's just one of those things what it brings them into the fandom and do what you're doing and doing the research. I'm like, oh, okay, what's this? What's that? Okay, cool. Hey, let me ask PJ what this is or what's that is, or let me ask my friend John who knows something about this. It
Yeah.
just it's such a good thing, man.
Like
But
sometimes the only thing I would say that would make Mandalorian better if it wasn't on Disney and you can curse. That's the only thing that would make it better, really.
HBO.
Yeah, and obviously that's
But
not gonna happen
dude,
because they're in Disney. But if Commander was like, "God damn it, I told you, don't stop eating those eggs." It's like,
um,
that's the only thing that like I would, in my eye, that would make it, because he's kind of like the Joe Rogan of the the Star Wars universe. He just doesn't care. He's just a badass, and it's like, oh, whatever.
yeah, what I was gonna say is that like now in this season, you're starting to see him. a little bit more gore in some of the episodes here. Like he threw like that knife at the one of the aliens
Hmm.
in the first episode. You saw he threw it at his chest,
Yeah.
right? And he like fell down. And you're like, okay. So I
Hmm.
guess they're really not. They're trying to push the edge here,
Yeah.
and trying to make it like a PG-13 show.
Even on the last one, like you're I was kind of torn because like you have this picture of Mandalorian as just a maniac, just a homicidal killer, but he's not, because he made those people live. Forget their names, but he left them inside the what do you call that? The cell, his
Oh
ex
yeah, yeah,
girlfriend
yeah.
or whatever. But I like in that moment, like I kind of thought that was gonna happen because it's Disney, but I
Mhm.
got second thoughts. I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna see a pool of blood, which is awesome as well.
Yeah,
But for a moment, that crossed my mind, which is awesome. Like watching a Disney show that even crossed my mind.
yeah. It's crazy. Well, I was gonna ask you, like, what was your like favorite moments in the first season?
I would the first one, the first episode where he was
Yeah,
in the bar and he was just like, kind of like, dude, what are you doing here? And then he cut the guy in half. Like they didn't show any gore, but you know what happened. Like
yeah,
pulled the guy out of the room, and then he took some bounty, and he kind of killed all the. For a moment, I want to buy a remnant trooper. For a moment there, and I was just like, oh man, I want to buy this trooper. But yeah, I would say the first episode, that first episode was so good that if it wasn't good, we probably wouldn't be talking right now. Like I wouldn't
yeah,
make the second episode. But right after that, the second episode, they kind of give me a breather. Kind of like it was kind of like slowing down, kind of like right now. Like the first
yeah,
episode was really good. Second one, for those who hasn't seen, I mean, it's kind of sad if you haven't seen it, and you're taking a spoiler from a non-Star Wars fan. But like the spider thingy, that was kind of like a breather from
yeah.
uh,
It was nice. It was cool. I think it was just like a stepping stone for the next one. I think
yeah.
the next one's gonna be really good. Yeah,
And my friend, who's also a Star Wars fan, and he was just like, "Oh, they're setting it up for this girl, Sasha Banks. He mentioned her name, and
yeah. I think she's
Sabine,
the
Sabine or
Mandalorian.
something or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't even know her." And I was like, "Well, even if I didn't know that, I was still cool. I
yeah.
still watched it, and it was pretty good." But like when I would say the best one was when he shot IG-11 too. Because IG
Mm,
was just like, because I was beginning to like IG. And I didn't know, this is a guy who didn't know that IG was the guy standing right next to Boba.
mhm.
And then now I'm putting all the puzzles together, kind of like, as I remember when Darth Vader told Boba, "Oh, do not disintegrate the other guy," and he was shooting those Jawas and they're just disappearing. And I was just, what kind of ammo is he using? Is this that, and then now it kind of made sense. And I didn't know that. I thought IG was from Mandalorian. I didn't know he was from the OT.
Yeah,
So I saw, or it might be IG-88. So knowing the fact that I know the difference between knowing that there's an IG-88 and 11 is a big stuff for me. All right, so
well, you're
hey,
stepping into the dark
I'm
side,
getting
man,
there.
which is
Sometimes I don't
great.
even know myself. I'm looking at the mirror. It's like, what happened to you? It's like, why do you know these terms? It's like, and then, but yeah, when he shot him, that was pretty cool too, because I was starting to like that guy, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna buy this robot because he's pretty badass. He can shoot like
Hmm.
revolving. And then after episode one, I was like, all right, I guess I'm not gonna buy that robot then because he's done. And then at the end of the season, I was like, all right, I'm back to buying that robot. Um, uh,
Yeah, what a great story arc too. Like he went from like this like bad guy, like bad bounty hunter, to being like the savior, not only for the child but for the Mandalorian because he didn't like uh robots or droids at that point,
yeah.
and to have a droid save him and the rest of his clan
Hmm.
or his crew in that episode was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get an IG-11.
Good. He was like
I need
Boromir. I'm telling you, man. Like I like Lord of the Rings. So I was telling it yesterday. I was like, watching Mandalorian is like he needs to give Baby Yoda back to wherever he came from. Lord
Mhm.
of the Rings is, they're gonna destroy the ring where it came from.
Yeah,
And then IG-11 is kind of like Boromir. He died too, like Boromir. He turned it around. Boromir was a bad dude, and then he turned it around. It's like, God damn, there's so many similarities.
yeah.
I could get a tattoo of Mandalorian. It was just
I know. I'm just, dude. I'm just super happy that you're into it and you're picking some of the stuff, the Mandalorian stuff. Like, so you got the IG-11. You're getting IG-11. You're getting
Yeah.
the pre-Beskar Mando. Are you getting anything else or?
I'm gonna get the best car. And dude, initially when I did the preview, this is before watching Mandalorian. When I haven't seen or don't like something, I just judge like a figure through aesthetics and uh, I guess the technical part of it. And I didn't like the heavy infantry guy. And I was just like, dude, this looks like a guy from Halo, which he
Mhm.
does. And I was just like, why would you even buy this guy? I mean, you got Mando, just get some background character. Dude, that guy was kicking ass. And he's like a badass too. So
You know that's John Favreau, right?
oh, is that John Favreau?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
he's
was John
in.
Favreau.
He's in.
Uh, yeah. So I'm not sure the lineage, but that's how Dave Filoni and John Favreau kind of connected was in Star Wars was because John Favreau was the voice of Pre Vizsla. I'm trying to remember the name here. It's kind of late for me, so I lose all chain of thought. But Pre Vizsla was one of the Death Watch Mandalorians in Clone Wars, and John Favreau voiced that character in the Clone Wars show. So to have John Favreau play like one of his descendants in the Mandalorian show is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
Dude. And another episode there was
which by the way,
uh
I'm getting the Heavy Mandalorian. I can't wait. I
are you
think
getting that?
I have a feeling IG-11 is going to come out pretty soon.
Dude, like I wish he was diecast though. IG-11. He's not
Yeah, I think it's
whatever.
classic.
Yeah, he's plastic, and he got so many cool. He turns around like he twists, and he's just. I mean, yeah, he's just badass. So, and that heavy infantry too. I never thought it would even cross my mind to get this guy. But like when he talked and he was like, "Oh, technically he's a Mandalorian, but he's bigger." It's just buff, and it's just like,
Yeah, he's got the like the chain gun or
yeah,
the minigun blaster. He could fly. That was the first time we saw like well,
this
we saw the
small.
other ones flying, but he was like literally like flying in the air, kind of flying.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like how
he
can
was
they
hover,
carry
he
a
was
big
flying
boy?
like with the Mandalorians.
Yeah, it's a big boy, but I was how do I say it? It's like again the I never liked when Iron Man before was like there's so many Iron Mans. I always thought it was like, hey, just get one armor, and then eventually I got four Iron Mans. But it's like compared to other people, it's like a gazillion Iron Man. I still so I pick and choose. I'm probably gonna do the same thing with Mandalorian. I'm not gonna have an army of Mandalorian, but I'm gonna pick and choose which one looks cool and.
Yeah, I think you have to because I'm sure they're gonna come out with so much.
Yeah, at this point you gotta pick and choose now. Because if you just, initially in the first Mandalorian, if you're thinking I was like, oh man, I'm gonna buy every Mandalorian, you're gonna get broke. So
Oh wow,
I know,
yeah, that's why do you think I'm focusing, man?
I know, dude.
Yeah.
But even if you're focusing just on Star Wars, you're still gonna. I still think you gotta pick and choose because otherwise, because they gotta keep
I'm
this
I'm
out.
all in, baby. I'm all in.
Damn.
I'm all in into Star Wars. You know, the only thing I'm probably run out of is room. But you know what? With me is that like I'll just probably if I run out of room, then I'll just kind of like swap my displays out. Like I'll think,
Mhm.
you know what? Let me swap out. Let me take out all the original trilogy, and I'll put all the Mandalorians up, and we'll see. Depending. I mean, right now I'm good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see in the near future how much Star Wars figures Hot Toys is gonna
I
pump
need
out.
I need a bad guy though for my Mandalorian. So when I do photography, I got some bad guy in the background. Who would you suggest? Would it be none of
Moff
them is badass, by
Gideon,
the way.
man. You
Which one?
need Moff. Well, they need to make a Moff Gideon.
No, no, but trooper. Would you suggest
Super.
a regular trooper,
Yeah, I would say you
or
could
death
you could
trooper?
do a nice diorama display with the remnant stormtroopers. And I think that's why I kind of underestimated their value. Like I seriously didn't think that they were gonna be waitlisted
Yeah, they're
this
still
quick.
waitlisted. I'm sure you can still get that. I'm sure.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it's because people are buying like multiples of
Yeah,
those remnant
I heard
stormtroopers. And
it's like the scratches are not that good or something. Or
no, it's not like the way it's painted. It's like I feel like it's just like I don't know. It's kind of glossy. It's like not like really like. weathered. You know,
Mhm.
like for me, like the Commander Cody is weathered,
Yeah,
right? Like you could see like they really did some work with the paint and the armor, but this one's just like gloss. It's just like they just kind of like glossed it over. I don't know. It's
yeah,
just like it's weird. It's not like the ones you saw in the show where they're like, ooh, they're dirty. Like they're weathered and dirty. Like they've
yeah,
been rolling around in the mud. The ones that you see is like, oh, they've been rolling around in like some like I don't know, some sort of like lacquer or something, like
yeah.
I don't know, like coat, like
In a
you know?
tar? It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, Erwin makes a good point. The Death Trooper or the Remnant. Yeah, the Death Trooper would be good, but you probably need a couple of them just to make it look cool.
Damn
So,
it, dude! I gotta say though, like those damn troopers are worthless as fuck. There's
oh,
like
they look cool, but
they look cool. Those death troopers. I mean, if you are a death trooper, you gotta be like a higher rank than a stormtrooper, right? Hit something, man. Just I'm
yeah,
not saying kill them, just wound them or something. I mean, you're in the front, you're wearing
yeah,
black.
yeah.
Even
I think with the Death Trooper squad, like they haven't proved their I don't know. They haven't lived up to their name, Death.
yeah,
Like they're like, oh shoot, here
Damn.
comes the Death Trooper, guys. That means death.
Yeah,
You know, like, but the Incinerator Trooper, oh my gosh, dude,
dude,
like,
that guy died in a rubble. He had a good entrance, like smoke coming out, and he was just by himself walking.
dude, it was like a freaking like a Final Fantasy VII boss, man. Like
Yeah,
you're like, oh shoot, I got to the sub level, like like the third
right.
boss before the final
The big
boss.
boss. Yeah.
You're like, oh shoot, here we go, you know.
And then he
But then
died
like he
because
like
something collapsed on top of him.
yeah, well then he gets killed by Baby Yoda. So
I hope there's a stormtrooper that is capable of some sort. Just I'm not asking him to kill a hero because that's impossible. Just wound him, man. Just because even Mandalorian, it
mhm.
they're all shooting at him, and the only guy who shot him was the big boss. And the big boss would be like, dude, I mean, I know I'm Gus Fring, I'm badass as you could be, but I mean, I hired you for you. You guys are dead. There's 4 dead troopers.
There, yeah, I think there was more. I don't
I
know.
think
Like
there's
there was
more.
like a whole line, like a whole army of them, or whole should I say a whole squad of them. I don't know. They didn't do anything, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Erwin says Incinerator Trooper was drunk when he came. I think so too. It is.
Well, when the incinerator trooper came out, he had like his pelvis like pointing forward. Like he had like such a weird look, like like the weird pose or like a
Yeah.
weird walk and stance. I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like he looked like he's like pelvic thrusting. I don't
Dude,
know.
the music changed. It was like
Yeah.
the music changed. He got a close up. He got a slow motion. It's like,
I'm telling you, it's like a Final Fantasy VII boss. You're like, oh shoot, here we go.
it was like,
You
oh,
know,
oh, here comes. I was like, now we're in business. And I was like, oh, dude.
it's like, oh, okay, that was quick.
And he died.
And he died. That was quick. But it was cool though. I still thought that was pretty. That was such a cool scene when Baby Yoda was like, you know, like forcing the flames back towards the incinerator trooper.
Yeah.
Like he flicked it.
That was a cool scene.
It was like a finger roll to the back. Like
Yeah.
it was
Kind
like
of like that Iron Man shield, like on when he did the snap.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, this threw a monkey wrench on my plan because I didn't plan on getting any Star Wars figure. I got it all planned out. I mean, I got my reward points for Ant-Man when he goes on sale. When he goes on sale, like free shipping and $20 off because I'm only gonna pay like 100 something. On Big Bad, I was reserving it for an Alita maybe, and I was just like, "Yep, those two are not gonna happen." Um, just like, oh, Wasp, cancel. There you go.
Yeah, I mean to be honest, man, like the way the market is going for the Marvel figures, I would just wait, man. Just wait in
Yeah.
the trenches. Those things are going like I heard like someone bought like a Endgame Thanos for like 300.
That is
Like
possible nowadays. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like
And
yeah,
that
like
is an
a lot
amazing
of these
figure.
figures are not selling.
Yeah.
Are not selling and they're going for so I was like even thinking like just like yo, this is the best time to probably pick these figures up right
Cheap.
now.
Yeah.
And just like kind of like not to hold them, but I would like to review them and just display them in like I'll have like a nice separate Marvel
Yeah.
place for my Hot Toys in my movie room.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just real quick, Erwin, Susanna, PJ, you plan to get the scouts for Mando? Yes, dude. Just really, I really mean it. I'm getting everything Star Wars now. Like
He's
yeah.
crazy. If you
I
guys
might,
haven't noticed.
I might switch it up because if I see like a rocket figure for $100, like you're gonna see me review
Yeah.
it.
I mean, you can't say no, right? I mean, it's still Hot Toys at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, are you kidding me? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick that up.
I know I'm Star Wars, but yeah, add to cart.
Yeah, this is too good to be true. Like, let me pick this up. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Optical, you were saying something. I cut you off.
Oh no! I was just like I'm just saying he's crazy. Just in case you guys don't know yet, this is a guy because I watched your episode. The Tuscan Raiders came out, right, and this guy's like hunting for Tuscan Raiders the following day. I was like, dude, just wait.
No, yeah, I know. I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait for. Well, no. See, the thing is, there was this statue, like the sideshow collectible statue of the Tuscan Raiders, right? And I've eyed that thing for a while, and I'm like, I don't know if I need it in my collection. I don't know. We'll see. Because they weren't really didn't do much in some of the movies. You
Yeah,
know, they were always getting killed, and they look like bad. I don't know. It doesn't fit my collection, right? So after watching the Mandalorian episode 1 of season 2, I was like, I think I need one. Let me go look
yeah,
for one, dude. Like that statue went from being like 300 to $450 on eBay to like $1,000 plus.
yeah,
The some of the Black Series figures that was probably like peg warmers at some point, or going for like $15 on eBay, are now like $100.
wow.
It's crazy what the Mandalorian is doing to some of these like older characters that we never really cared for.
Hmm.
Like the Tusken Raiders, because we really cared about the Tusken Raiders. Because the last
Yeah,
time we heard about the Tusken Raiders was when, well, before the Mandalorian show, was when Anakin killed them in episode 2 in the
is
prequel, where he
are
was
they
like,
the one who took his mom, right?
"Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I slaughtered them. The
God,
women and children too." Like,
dude, I said that like on my review of my Anakin, I got slaughtered because I mean, even if you're a hardcore fan, his acting there was like you would think that your mom got killed. You know, he killed all the Tuscan Raiders. You know, I was expecting like you know, a, but no, yeah, and they were like,
yeah, it was crazy. Like,
yeah,
that you always see them as bad guys, and
yeah,
to watch them in season 1 of episode 2, episode 1 of season 2
hmm,
of the Mandalorian, you're like, you kind of have like, you see,
you kind of see the different side of them.
yeah,
But
you know,
it's funny because when Mando also explained to them, because he was kind of like the translator, I was like, yeah, they're savages. Yep, that's what they're called, raiders. But they're willing to, do a barter with you guys where they're not gonna,
yeah,
because it benefits them both.
yeah,
Those Tuscan Raiders, the ones on the front. If I was a Tuscan Raider, like, it was like, you call that dragon? I've seen the guy who was in front of me. He
yeah,
died right away. It's like not gonna whistle in front of that guy.
yeah. You know, there's a meme going around. It's like, oh man, it's my turn to feed the crate dragon. No, but like, the thing is with the man with the Tusken Raiders, the Mandalorian show humanizes them as
Yeah.
being regular people. They're probably just like had like village, outsiders that are coming and settling in their land,
Hmm.
and that's why they're like, well, these guys are invading our land. We're gonna like try to raid them
Right.
whenever we can. But at the same time, but you see the different side to that, and I like what the show is doing. So, with that being said, I'm looking for a Tusken Raider statue. So if you guys see one, let me know.
The good news for you is Mando just rode a dewback. Is that what you call them? So
Oh man, don't remind me,
most
man.
likely you're gonna get one.
Oh, it's
Most
so
likely you're gonna get
expensive.
one.
Dude, I've been eyeing that dewback for many years. I've been waiting for that thing to go down in price. I think at some point that dewback was like was selling for $600, and it just never went down after that.
Yeah.
Originally that dewback was like going for
Or
350.
yeah, 350 originally, and no one bought
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
and it was selling for 600 at some point, and I still thought that was a little expensive.
Yeah.
Because for me, I just don't like paying over price over the
Yeah.
retail price. oh, that's just who I am. But
You're
then
probably gonna get one again, man.
I'm probably never gonna get it. Now it's like
No, I think they're gonna redo that. I mean, he
I
wrote.
really hope so. I really
Yeah.
hope someone does redo the do back. Hopefully, Hot Toys does
Hmm.
because they seem to be like getting into like some of the vehicles because we're
Yeah.
getting a swoop bike,
I mean,
which by the way,
how hard could it be though? Like that do back. I mean, I don't know if your kids are into Jurassic Park, but I buy Jurassic Parks in Target all the time, and their paint application is amazing. And
yeah,
do back kind of, if you just just don't be crazy about it. Just do something like that, and you'll make a living out of it. You don't need to be like
yeah,
Rick
I
Rock.
really, I really hope someone does a do back, a bantha, something. Well, I'm glad that we're getting a swoop bike. Which, by the way, just a little fun fact. That was like the first
I
time you were
think
like in.
you don't have a mic. Your mic got cut off.
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, but
Hello, hello, hello. Uh-oh.
I don't know if maybe it's me. Hold on.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh yeah. It's me. It's
Oh,
me. It's me. Yeah. Okay.
oh, I was like, wait.
Yeah.
No, well, just real quick is that like a little fun fact is that like before episode 2 of season 2, we never really heard the swoop bike, the bike in the don't Danny, I really don't want to see these kind of comments here, okay? This really discourages me. I don't want to see it. Can you
That's
take
all
it
right.
back?
They're douches.
So, but like the swoop bike, right, of episode 2 of season 2, right, the recent episode. And by the way, this is not a spoiler. You get to hear like the engine of that swoop bike. I'm so glad that there was like no music, and it was just straight
Yeah.
up like just the bike itself, like riding through the desert of Tatooine or the dunes of Tatooine. And it was like almost sounds like I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like your typical Star Wars vehicle where
A
it has
Harley.
like
Yes. A
like
Harley.
yeah, right. It's like a Harley, and it was very like rough.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the fact that they did that because Anakin rode the swoop bike in episode 2 when he was going after the Tusken Raiders, but you never heard how it sounded like. It was
Mhm.
just they were playing Duel of the Fates as he was riding it, but to hear it, it was such an awesome feeling.
And
It's
you know
not
what?
so too nerdy here.
You touched on it earlier, and now you made me think maybe the reason why I like this
Yeah.
Mandalorian more than I should have is
Mhm.
because they're humanizing how it, because I always had this idea that, the Star Wars is like this fantasy land, which it is, it's sci-fi, but so is Batman before Nolan got it. Like Christopher Nolan kind of humanized
Yes.
Dark
Yeah.
Knight. It made you think that maybe it is possible. Maybe like maybe Two Face before Two Face is like, who has a Two Face, and then he made a Two Face like lay down and got
Yeah.
honored, and I feel the same vibe with Mandalorian. Kind of like it's still there's a lot of things that are impossible, obviously, because it's still a sci-fi, but there's certain elements where kind of be like, all right, I get that. I can respect that.
Yeah. It's a good storyline. He's protecting the child.
Yeah.
Just like the lion and the cub. And it's just one of those like hate to compare it. Remember Commando, where he was like trying to protect his daughter and stuff like that. It's like something like that.
Hmm.
Oh, by the way, yeah, KG Collector mentioned this before. He said you should take
Yeah.
out the fat suit underneath the
Do
Mando.
you have that, Mando, or do you already have that? Or I know
Yeah,
you.
I have that. I
Oh,
still have it.
did you
Yeah.
take out the fat suit? Is it hard to do, or?
No, I haven't taken out the fat suit. And actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I've been saying that there is a fat suit in that
Mhm.
Mandalorian, and some people didn't believe me. I'm like, no, there's a fat suit. That's what's kind of throwing that figure off a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Hot Toys does that. Like, I don't know why they love putting fat suits in figures because they did that with Luke from
From the first one, right? Yeah.
the first one.
The second release, the deluxe, does not have one. From what I
No, it doesn't have one.
Yeah.
It's nice and thin. It's tailored, nicely. Yeah, I'm not sure why they love doing fat suits, but yeah, I think if you take out the fat suit for Mando, it'll look a lot better. The only thing is maybe the pants are a little baggy.
Can he
They look
kneel
like
though?
MC Hammer pants.
Yeah. Can your Mando kneel or?
I haven't tried kneeling it.
Okay.
I just have it in like a pose where he's like kind of
Like,
like have the gun here, like kind of like the
so
shoulder.
he can do this, like put
Yeah.
this. Okay. So I've seen guys who are just like this, and
Yeah, but I've seen some pictures. I know what the KG collector is talking about. I've seen some pictures where it looks so much better without the fat suit.
oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah. Erwin makes a good point. Fat suits are good when done right. Yeah, I agree. But then when you have like a skinny character that doesn't look, you know,
Right. For,
big.
yeah, Joker, the 89 Joker,
Mhm.
cool. Uh Mandalorian, probably not. And
Yeah.
is it true, like the rumors that what's his name? Pascal is asking to for the helmet to be removed often?
Yeah, I heard that rumor, but it's just I feel like he said he's not going though. He's still gonna be around. I mean, seriously, like if you think about it, like he's getting paid to just be in the stay in his pajamas and just do the voiceover.
For all we know, he's not underneath that guy. He might be just doing voiceover. For all we know, he might be a stuntman
No,
for all.
he is he's only doing voiceovers. Like
Yeah.
I think in the first season he only had like that one scene where he took off that helmet. But I think because like, I think he wanted to be more involved and
I
and
mean,
more.
you want to be known because this is big now, and you want your face attached to it. I understand
Yeah,
the logic behind it. You might get
I
more.
get it, but you're still getting paid for you know being in your pajamas and doing voiceovers.
He should see what happened to Iron Man 3 because what's his name Robert Downey wants to be more Tony Stark than Iron Man because who wants to be a CG all the time, like Iron Man is so big that he wants to be like Tony Stark for the most part. He said that they made a compromise. It's like 50-50. And Iron Man 3 is a mess. I mean, I still like the movie, but it's not as good as Iron Man 1. Like Iron Man 3 is just all over the place.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, like you watch Iron Man because you want to see Iron Man.
Yeah, not Tony Stark. I mean, he's good. Really
He's
good.
good, like yeah,
Really good.
and
Yeah.
I would like to see him kick butt.
Yeah. But
Like
I
I
want to
don't
see
want to see the
Iron Man with his voice.
Mandalorian. Yeah, I don't want to see the Mandalorian with no helmet like the whole episode. Like I want him to kick
Yeah.
butt, Like I don't want him to be like talking to himself in like the corner in this room because he can't show his face to anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they can make a good agreement with him. Like, okay, we'll give you one episode for like a minute or two. Take it off when you're all bloody and whatever, and wash your
Yeah,
face. Something like that.
and I'm sure like at some point, I'm pretty sure in Mandalorian it's not going to be Mandalorian anymore. I
Mhm.
think just to put an end to his story arc, I'm sure towards the end of the show they're gonna probably have him like remember that girl from season one where he like kind of like from the village.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he's like, you know what? I'm gonna
Yeah.
settle down, and there you
Yeah.
go.
I gotta
That's
get
your chance to have your helmet taken off and be a little bit more like.
but they could do that with other Mandalorians, though, right? Take off the helmet and show each other's faces, or
I'm not sure. No, it's different because there are some Mandalorians. Depends. I guess it depends on the clan
yeah.
because in Rebels there are some Mandalorians like Sabine Wren, like they take off their helmets all the time around
Mhm.
each other. So
'Cause that would suck. I'm like, oh man, I gotta have to do this with a mask on then.
yeah.
If you want babies.
KG collectors, are you guys gonna get the Hot Toys Venom? I'm probably not gonna get it unless it goes on sale.
Yeah, I probably would, but we'll see. It's in 2 years, so I'm not worried about it. But
Yeah, who knows? Like again, like you don't want to get it, and then next like they have like Venom 2 with him having like the
yeah, I mean,
can
2 years.
you with a symbol? Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that would suck.
Like he looks cooler and he has like the symbol and he's got like I don't know, and then like maybe Hot Toys makes one where with the Tom Hardy like
Yeah,
half, like like with the half face like Venom and the other half like his face actual face.
dude, knowing Hot Toys, they probably would do that just to piss you off. Kind of like the
Oh
moment
yeah,
they announce it and everyone buys it, they announce the season. Kind of like when everyone got, like for, and I get it, like, we're fans, but there's some people who can only buy one Mandalorian and they all pre-ordered. I mean,
yeah.
if you can only buy one, it's no doubt you should get the one with the baby Yoda. I mean, the Beskar one. If you can only buy one. But imagine all those people like, oh man, I gotta get this. And those guys like, God damn it, Hot Toys, why can't you announce both? It's like at the
For,
same time.
yeah. To be honest, man, seriously, to be honest, I would even if I was say like I'm still collecting Marvel, right? I wouldn't get this figure. I wouldn't. You know why? Just because he doesn't have that symbol. That
Oh,
symbol
Venom.
represents, like, you watch or read any Venom comics, he's always had that symbol. That's
Hmm.
how you know that's Venom, right?
Yeah.
That's why, like, that maybe I would add that to one of my biggest gripes about this figure is, and that's not Hot Toys' fault. It's, obviously Sony's fault for not putting the symbol,
Yeah.
but you know, you need that symbol, man. That's iconic. So I'm guessing in the next movie, we're probably gonna see, like, the symbiote, like come after Peter Parker, right?
Mhm.
He's gonna merge with Peter Parker, and then at some point, he's gonna when he merges with Peter Parker, he's gonna have like that symbol
Yeah.
again, and then when he leaves and like goes back to Eddie Brock, that's when he'll
And
um
that could happen because like Marvel and Sony are kind of working together now because they kind of like lent Spider-Man to MCU
mhm.
and they could return the favor. It was like, dude, we need that spider on his chest, and you know,
Yeah. So yeah, maybe again, like and then who knows? Then you get the symbol, and what you're gonna do with this figure? You spend like
that's
four
gonna be hard
hundred
to
and
sell.
five, or let's say with tax and shipping, you paid like 430, $450 for this thing.
Mhm.
Now you're like, okay, I want that one because it
But
looks so much good.
but I do get it, man. Because if you are kind of like, like I guess for you, like it's for my example now, like I logically, I should wait for the best car version. Like I should,
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm not going to. So I'm gonna get
no, but
this.
see, the thing is, here's the
Yeah.
thing: is that, like, it's something that's different. I don't know, like I don't know, like, let's say, like, let's go back to Venom, right? Like, say you pick up this figure, right, and
Mhm.
it doesn't have the symbol, and then the movie comes out and it does have the symbol and
Yeah.
some
Which is so
other
much
cool
better. Let's say. Yeah.
accessories or
Yeah.
stuff, right? Say they reuse the same portrait just because
Yeah.
those portraits are hard to make. Now, what will you do when they come out with that? Like, what's going to end up happening to the first version and you try to sell it? You're probably going to lose some money because people are going to,
Yeah. Which you probably can't say the same for this man because I'm looking at it in a lens of like a Venom fanatic, for example.
yeah,
Are they gonna have the same logic as what we give Mandalorian? Kind of like,
yeah,
hey, with Mandalorian. But the thing is, the movie of Venom and the Mandalorian is just in a totally different spectrum that you can't. You don't
yeah.
need an origins Venom, I suppose. That's
Yeah,
what.
it's just like, think of the Mandalorian as like Iron Man, right? Like, Iron Man has all these different armors, right? And no matter what armor you pick, if they're sold out, they're sold out, and you get they're going to be going for a pretty penny and then some, right? But with Venom, there's only one Venom costume.
Yeah.
There's never been like multiple Venoms. Like, there's been, like, okay, multiple symbiotes, like a
Mhm.
Carnage, like, all these other, like, different types of symbiotes, but in terms of Venom, there's only one. He's wearing a black suit with a
Yeah.
symbol. He might change his look,
Right.
but his overall outfit
Overall, the same.
has always been symbol.
The only way I would see that would be sought after if that the second Venom kills it, like absolutely came out of nowhere. Let's say they did a what do you call that, Spider Verse, and then he comes out and kills his part. So now people will be like the same with Mandalorian. I mean, I want that, because I want every Venom in my collection. That's the
Yeah, I think
only
you have to be
thing.
like a hardcore Venom collector to
Right.
pick up this one. Or just a fan of, I don't know, it's just hard, or like you're probably gonna get this just to fill your void
Till the other one comes out because
till the other
technically
one comes out, which is fine.
that's like
Again,
4 or 5 years, dude. That's a
yeah,
long time. Yeah.
yeah, and for me, I'm trying to, like, collect smart and not just, I don't know, like, I don't know. For me, it just, I would wait and see till Venom 2 comes out, and then see if they have a new outfit. If it's the
Mhm.
same one, then pick it up. Like,
Yeah.
hands down, pick it up.
Yeah.
And Venom 2 should release before this figure releases, right?
I mean, who knows, man? Everything's getting pushed back. So even Black
Yeah,
Widow.
because I think they were working on Venom 2 because, they were supposed to have Carnage in it, and I think that Tom Holland was supposed to be in it.
Dude,
So, it'll be one of those, hey, who knows? There might be a symbol. And then I say, for the collectors who are still on the fence on this,
Mhm.
Just wait for Venom 2 to come out to make your decision in purchasing the figure. I mean, you got some time. When is this figure supposed to release?
Supposed to be 2022, so that's in 2 years. So that's like I said, I'm not committing to I'm getting it or not getting it because who knows in 2020 I might have been retired in 2022.
Retirement collecting?
Yeah, or I might be like the next time you see me, I might be wearing a Mandalorian helmet and doesn't care about
Yeah,
Marvel anymore. So who knows?
yeah. Um, KG collectors. It's more realistic because he hasn't met Spider-Man yet. No, and yeah, I totally agree. Like he hasn't met Spider-Man yet, but at the same time, that's not the Venom that we grown to, love.
The
And
Venom that yeah.
yeah, it's always been like the case where as soon as like you know, he came to be, it was always, he always had that symbol. But I get KG collector's point. Like this could have been like a more like, like we were talking about
The Venom,
humanized,
yeah.
like Venom, where it's like, okay, he doesn't get the symbol right away because he hasn't met Peter Parker.
Right. The kind of like the
And
origins.
he's
So
still a
like
symbiote. Yeah.
yeah. For hardcore fans, this is no question. For casual fans like myself, I would say the biggest risk here is the price because there are certain figures where you can buy it and you'll be like, all right, if it's not good, it's not good. It's all right. This one's 405, possibly 450. So I guess that's kind of like what's you have to think twice about getting this because they're like Ant-Man. Ant-Man's a terrible head sculpt, but I was just like, if I can get it with free shipping and
Hmm.
$20 off, I mean that would, and I got some rewards. This is before Mando. I was like, all right, I would pay like 120. Not bad. But that came along, so I was like, all right, but you can't say the same logic with this Venom because this is almost 450. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
Gerald, I think what's his name? Over here.
Gerald
Oh, yeah,
Jones.
Gerald Jones said that why not pre-order it? There's no NRD. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
hey, you got nothing to lose,
Right.
so
Right.
yeah, just pre-order it. Secure your Venom and wait till Venom 2 comes out because
Yeah.
again now they have the license for the movie Venom, so who knows, they might make a one with the symbol,
Kind
so
of
we'll
symbol on it.
see.
I mean, I personally wasn't stressing out on the symbol, honestly. Like it doesn't matter because I like the movie as well. It's the price more and what you're getting. It's kind of like with everything that's coming out now, like you said, prioritizing and it's like I said, it's not coming out in 2 years. So who knows? Maybe they stop doing Mandalorian in 2 years or whatever the case is. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that yeah, it's just you never know what other stuff is coming. And the one figure I wish the Hot Toys kind of released, which other unlike like third party figures or third party companies did, was the Logan. I wish they came out with a licensed Logan figure. I
Right.
think that I mean, who cares? It's the last movie of Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman as Logan, and I wish they got that first, and they did that first over the Venom figure.
I know. I mean, I'm a huge Wolverine fan, so I've been waiting and waiting. So in part that's the biggest problem that I had because I held every Wolverine out there and I was waiting for the perfect one and I
Mhm.
ended up with none. So because I've held every Wolverine, the Origins, Last Stand, the solo movie, even the Days of Future Past, but nothing really satisfied me because because I'm a huge fan. So I was like looking for every reason. I was like, the Days of Future Past is as good as you could have, but he has this stoic face that it just doesn't. You can't pose him in any other pose. It's kind of like attacking with like bored. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna trade you for Darth Vader, and that was the biggest mistake of my life. And but yeah, I hope they do Logan. I think it will be a big, a cash grab if they do. Even if the movie came out like 3 years.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because that's the last. It has a sentimental value where, or me, it's just one of those where it's the last time we saw Hugh Jack. Basically, the last time we were going to see Hugh Jackman as Logan,
hmm
as Wolverine, and that was such a good movie, man.
excellent movie. The two
Oh
movies that
man,
I wished is Logan and this Joker from Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah, I'm sure they're
In
gonna.
Olympic scale,
They're just so slow. What the hell?
Oh, but I think they're gonna sell though, because like it's one of those kind of the more you don't, the more it doesn't get released, the more people want it. Kind of like Logan.
Oh,
So
like
I think they would sell.
Spider-Man kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I just again, I think Logan would be such a really good release. I really hope they release it at some point, and
they
I
did
really hope they don't release it when the X-Men movie comes out. Because that
rebooted,
would suck. Because then everyone's like, is gonna want to get the new Wolverine, like character,
whoever that might be. So
whoever that might be.
I
But
know a lot of people too are clamoring for the boys, but I don't think Hot Toys is gonna make them just because they're a bit controversial.
yeah, they're a little bit controversial. I mean, I get people want that, but for me, I wouldn't even want those figures in my collection. I like them as like, these characters. I don't know. They're just not, I don't know. Like, I feel they're just not made to be, I don't know,
Figures.
figures. I don't know.
Yeah. I,
Something about them, I just don't want them as collectibles.
I know what you mean because I think they're meant to be parody of Justice League.
Yeah.
To have their own figure. Like I love watching them. I love the show. I don't know if I want to pay $250 for a Homelander though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I just, like, because then you got to have like blood splatter on their face. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's really weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those things where I just don't want those characters in my collection. Or if I was still collecting other things besides Star Wars, I love the boys, like the
Yeah.
show. Like I love everything about the show, but I just don't want their like I would want their graphic novels, and that's
Yeah.
it. I don't want like a T-shirt. I don't want figures or a statue of them. It's just like
Like
it's just
I don't mind having them for that. This is the every 1/6 figure I want Hot Toys to make, obviously because they're the best. But this is the boys is the one thing that I would be okay if Toys Era just makes them and they're priced at 150. I'll probably get them at 150, but at
Mhm.
250 to 300, I was like, why do I need her? Why did I, because if you buy Homelander, you're probably going to buy all of them. So now
Yeah, because you need all of them. The seven. You need the
yeah,
seven.
you
But
got,
again, like you said, it's like a parody of like the Justice League, and
yeah.
no, it's just hard to explain. I just don't want them as 1/6 scale figures. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't get them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's cool in the TVs, but think about it, is when Spidey 3 hits theaters and makes an appearance, everyone will, true. Yeah. I mean, I still want Venom, just didn't want to pay 400 for it, or 450 for that matter. I still wanted though.
I was expecting it to be around like in the 350s,
Yeah. 350,
320, 350. Damn, this is like I'm telling you, this is more expensive than the Baby Yoda life size statue
Yeah.
price. And this
And
is almost as expensive as the Hot Toys life child.
it is. It is. And it's like when we talk about the price, like some people are gonna say, oh, it's the um sideshow tax or something from Hot Toys, right? Like, but like, are we gonna use that argument for every expensive release? Because we have no option at this point. So we just kind of have to accept it. We just kind of have to blame Hot Toys as well for this. We can't keep on blaming Sideshow. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like they're
Yeah.
making figures. So my point there is that, well, Sideshow puts the markup on it. Well, lower it down, Hot Toys, then. So when they mark it up, we kind of like level up, so you guys kind of control it. You guys made a deal with the devil. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you said, so you think we're gonna get a reissue? What do you think, man?
Probably not, because we're getting a Clone Wars version of Anakin Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason for Hot Toys to reissue. But then again, sometimes they don't because they
Oh,
really
47, they just came out
yeah,
of
I was
nowhere.
gonna say, huh?
47 came out of nowhere.
Yeah, 47 came out of nowhere. I think it depends. I think if Obi-Wan was going for like $1,000 on eBay,
Yeah.
I think they would reissue that. Same
Yeah.
with Anakin, because Hot Toys wants a piece of that
Oh
pie.
yeah.
Because I think it's one of those things where Hot Toys really does like look at the third, like the aftermarket
Mhm.
value on these on some of these other figures. Like Doctor Strange. I remember when Doctor
Mm.
Strange, the first version, was going for like $1,000.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, whoa, I should sell it.
Me
Oh
too.
no. Yeah, I was like, oh man, I should sell it now, right? I was like, no, 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 I'll hold off for another week. Dude, as soon as it hit like 1,000 and like a couple days later they announced Infinity War,
Yeah,
Doctor Strange, and oh my gosh, that $1,000 went like all like it plummeted.
dude, we should have sold
So
ours. Mm.
yeah, I think that's the only way like Hot Toys would reissue a figure if it's like that
Wow.
expensive.
You know what? You have a
But
point. You have
huh?
a good point. You have a good point. I didn't notice that because like even Mark V, I don't think it quite hit 1,000 yet. I mean, some people can market 1,500 all they want, but they're not going to sell. But I think when
Yeah,
you're consistently selling, that's where Hot
yeah.
is going to be like,
I think 47 was selling. At some point, I saw a 47 for like 1,300,
crazy,
which is insane. So I
crazy.
think when Hot Toys saw that, they're like, we want a piece of that.
Yeah.
Um, so I think yeah, for Obi-Wan or Anakin to be reissued, it would have to be at that price point. And also, I have a feeling that, like, let's say like the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show comes out, right? And Obi-Wan Kenobi has like a flashback
Yeah.
where him and Anakin are fighting in the Clone Wars again, right? Like in their regular
Right.
outfit that they're wearing for Revenge of the Sith. Then that's
Mhm.
when Hot Toys goes, bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
Let's reissue or re-release this figure, but we'll add a little bit of accessories from the show to make it a little bit more of a different
Different.
release
Yeah.
than the original release. So
Right.
that's how I think Hot Toys thinks from
Yeah.
what I've noticed. And again, I'm not an expert. I could be totally wrong, but something like Mark 47 where it did sell for $1,000 and more. Yeah, I think that's when they will reissue stuff.
Confusing part was Whiplash. He never sold for 1,000. Yet he got re-released and no one was asking for it.
I think because I think Hot Toys didn't have any. I think because of the well with the COVID, I think they just didn't have anything to. I
Could
don't
be.
know
Or
because
maybe
it's exactly the same. It's just
yeah,
right. There's
yeah,
nothing
nothing. I think he got
right.
less tanned. Obviously, the paint application is a little bit better now. Technology. I think one speculation was maybe they're losing the license of Iron Man or something, so they're coming up to that dude. It was like, hey, you know what? Let's just re-release everything. Some conspiracy was it's a setup for Mark V. You know,
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I just think that because of what happened, they just couldn't make a new figure like a uh toy fair exclusive,
Yeah,
and they had to find something to you
re-release.
know to release, and they were
Yeah,
like, well, let's check our backlogs. Oh, we got some Whiplash and some Stan Lee head
yeah,
sculpts that we could kind of like repaint. And I mean, because everything was like basically a reissue, right, of all
yeah.
the toy fairs. There was
Pretty much.
nothing new.
Pretty much.
Like, like what was the toy fair exclusives we had? Oh, we got the
The hologram Iron Man.
hologram Iron Man,
Yeah.
Scarlet
Hologram
Spider,
Scarlet Spider. Is it hard?
which is basically the same suit as the
Yeah. And then
Stanley. I'm not sure.
the barber, Stanley.
Stanley.
Yeah, and
I
then
don't know.
but yeah, I think that you might be right. It's partly due to COVID. And if there's no movies, they're MMS anyway. They're movie masterpiece. No movies means no new figures. Even if they got something lined up for Black Widow, if it doesn't come out, I don't think they're gonna release the figures. So they gotta go back to their bread and butter, which is Iron Man and Star Wars for now. So
Yeah, I mean, if you notice, a lot of their Star Wars figures, besides Maul, I guess you could say. Actually, no, I could be at some point. There was just releasing non-helmeted. I mean, yeah, they were releasing helmeted characters. I think
yeah,
because of what was happening, and
Napoleon
now
Boba.
they're kind of like going back into the groove of things, and then factories are opening up. So you're starting to see a lot of like the ones with portraits like coming out, like like the Nebula,
Yeah.
Commander Cody, Darth Maul. So
Oh, Nebula's.
maybe Gamora is supposed to be next. I
Yeah,
heard.
right. Yeah. I mean, about time. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out, I don't know, 4 years ago. It's
And that's one thing, yeah, and that's one thing. It's sad to say, but it's one of those things that I feel like even though it's Hot Toys and you're still gonna get it, but it's just one of those things that takes like with the Venom, it takes away like
the excitement,
like you're
the
like
hype.
the hype, because when you're hyped up with a movie, you're like, oh, I want the figure, I want it, I want it.
Yeah.
You pre-order it, you're like, I gotta wait 2 years. And
Yeah.
then when it finally comes out, you're already moving on to the next thing. You're like, you're hyped up
Dude,
for the Mandalorian. You're like, oh, I want that, but I don't
thank
want the
God. I just watched it last, and not like you who watched it like a year ago. I just watched it like, and I couldn't even wait. That's why I busted this guy out.
Mhm.
But imagine if I, like, I mean, I guess wait a year. That's
Yeah. Oh,
so
by the way, guys, whoever's listening or watching, dudes, get your Boba Fett figures before he comes out. He's going to come out. I'm telling you, he is going to
Ooh,
come out later this season. And once he comes out and puts that, gets his armor,
damn.
that's it. Good night. See, all your Boba Fett figures will go up, will shoot up in price.
Dude, this Boba's cape, is it only one stud in it on the top? Is it
Yeah,
not?
it's only one stud.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right. I thought I just broke mine, but
No, no, it's only one stud. But yeah, yeah, watch all your Boba Fett figures that you guys own go up in price. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Um,
Ooh,
I think it might happen next episode. No, I wouldn't say next episode because I think they're gonna meet Sasha Banks next episode.
nice.
Maybe episode 4 or 5. I think he's gonna show up again.
Yeah,
And
I
once
heard
he gets his,
Sean Guy said, "Watch out for episode 4; it'll be big." So maybe episode 4. Yeah.
yeah, I think it might be episode 4, where he does show up. And again, once he shows up and puts the armor on, good night.
Ooh.
Like I'm gonna tell you from because I kind of knew. I think I told you optical
Yeah, yeah. You
like
said you
Boba
want to buy this guy, and I wanted to unload this, but not.
Yeah, I've been saying because I had a source tell me, like a really reliable source, that there's two costumes in the show that was shown to him or her.
Mhm.
That one was the Return of the Jedi armor, which you guys saw, and one was a Mythos version armor of Boba Fett.
Ooh.
So I don't know if Boba Fett gets his armor back and kind of does like his own little thing with it, where it looks,
Fashion sense with it.
yeah, fashion sense, but looks mytho-ish. I don't know if that's a word. Mythos-ish.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah. So again, once he puts that on, say good night to all your Boba Fett figures because they're gonna go up in price.
Damn. I'm gonna hold on to
Oh,
you, Boba.
Joe Jones says Boba already shot up in the price. Well,
There
he's
you
gonna
go.
keep on shooting up, man. So get it if you don't have it yet.
I'm gonna hold on to you, buddy. I'm gonna hold on to you.
Hold on to it, sell it, and then get your Venom.
That's a good
Get
idea.
your Venom, and then but it's a great opportunity for those people that own the Empire Strikes Back Boba right now. Yeah, I'm trying to give you guys some decent advice. I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. If it doesn't work out, don't blame me. But anyway, it's just one of those things where you guys have the Empire Strikes Back version of Boba. People are gonna want that in their collection like right now. So
Yeah.
it's a good opportunity for you to sell it when Fett shows up. And then if you still want that figure, you could get the vintage,
Yeah.
40th anniversary version, which is basically the same figure, just a different box. Which I think the box is better on the newer one. So you could do that and then use some of that money to fund your other stuff that you want to collect.
What do I have? Is this Return of the Jedi? This is the one with the
Yeah.
Sarlacc.
Yeah. So, dude, you got the one with the Sarlacc. That
Yeah.
thing is like worth a lot of money now.
Damn.
Just because you had the Sarlacc.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty cool piece, actually.
Oh, and yeah. I mean, check on eBay. I think that thing is pretty expensive.
Damn. I can buy Venom with this.
You could buy the quarter scale Mandalorian, man.
Dude, can I buy 2 Ant-Mans with this?
Oh no, don't buy it.
Ant-Mans with an S.
No.
I can display one with a helmet and one with a helmet off. Damn.
Why would you want the helmet off? No, but I was gonna say, are you gonna get the quarter scale Mando?
No, but it's too big for me. Like I don't have the space. I would definitely get the. So far, I got 4 in mind for Mando. Unless they announce Kara, which is I would get Kara in whatever form. I
I
would get
want
her UFC form, in Haywire form. I watch her movies that are not even good just because it's Gina
Gina.
Carano. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when she first burst into the UFC,
Oh
she was
yeah, when she was
easy on
cutting
the
weight.
eyes, man.
Even now, which is she's kind of buff now, but kind of
Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
Um. Yeah, I'm definitely getting the core scale Mando, just because. Well, I'm getting the deluxe version
Yeah,
because I don't know. I know some people are like, oh, why you don't need those accessories? Why do you buy them? I'm just a big accessory guy.
yeah,
Okay. And it's one of those things like I always believe in like if you're getting sick and tired of looking at your figure
mix it up.
because it's in that same pose, you could like switch it out and change it up and you could breathe some new life into your
All
figure.
right,
So that's why I always like love the extra accessories that Hot Toys gives you.
dude, and the base looks like a statue. I know you guys said that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a whatever kind of base like put together, but it still looks good.
No, I do. I love that base.
Cool.
I mean, it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
But to be honest, it's fine. It looks really cool, and I can't
yeah.
wait to get that thing.
Yeah,
So
I'm like after seeing the entire episode now, I can kind of see where it came from. Like the helmet's there, in the like the gun that he used. I don't the M60 the machine gun that he used. I see it there. Does it coincide with a timeline? Probably not, but it's kind of like the culmination of like the artistic form of whoever did the base, and that's he put it together.
yeah, yeah,
Better than
I like it. I like it.
yeah,
It's a little different, but you know what? It's a little different and a little bit all over the place, but I still love it.
yeah, cool.
But you know me, I'm always getting everything.
I know you are. All right, man. Dude, we're at 2 hours now. But guys, this is Paradox. Check out his channel. If you like cool Star Wars stuff, he just reviewed like a bunch of lightsabers. And did you review the Adidas shoes? Dude, when I got that, it was too late.
I don't know how to review these shoes because like I know there are sneakerheads that do buy these and they
Yeah.
do a better job of like reviewing them. But what I'm gonna say, hey guys, so this is the sneaker.
You gotta wear the
And
Mandalorian.
that is it. And it
The
looks
sole is
cool.
amazing.
I tried it on. It feels really good.
I'm size whatever, and
Full size.
you gotta wear with
Yeah,
socks.
I don't know if I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'll just do like close-ups on like some of the
Do an
sneakers.
unboxing of some sort. Yeah, do some stuff like that. Do some slider shots, some close up, whatever. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was
You
thinking
know.
about doing that because oh man, these sneakers are nice. The kid sneakers of the Mandalorian one because the kids ones are pre-Beskar themed,
Mhm.
right?
That's the
And
better one. Like the brown ones or something.
yeah, they're the pre-Beskar ones, and
Yeah.
then the adult ones are Beskar themed ones. So it's pretty cool, and
That
they're
was,
nice, man.
dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, definitely check him out. His channel, it's awesome. And you got another one, the
Yeah, so I have the Sithcast podcast. So if you guys love Star Wars as much as I do and love talk about Star Wars, come join the Scum and Villainy Facebook group. It's a little Facebook group where we talk a lot of Star Wars stuff, and you can check out Sithcast podcast on any of the major podcast platforms like Stitcher, Apple iTunes, and stuff like that. So Sithcast podcast.
it's awesome, guys. You got to check it out because that's where this is where it started, and it's just gonna get worse.
Oh, I'm so happy, dude. You don't understand how happy I am. Oh, finally. Ah, no awkward silence whenever I have you on my live stream and we talk about Star Wars.
Dude,
We talk about Mandalorian.
I'm confident now. You see my chest puffing out? You see that?
Oh man, that's just the Star Wars confidence right there.
Dude. I'm getting curious every day, and I'm watching stuff every day. So yeah, I just lost 7 subscribers today. I'm just kidding.
I know, right? Dude, like, well, I think at some point I lost like a lot of like subscribers when they realized that I was just strictly doing Star Wars. So
Yeah.
PJ hasn't put out a Marvel review in like 2 months. I think I need to jump out right now.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm still to unsubscribe. It's like, God damn it.
No. If you join the member program, you can still get access to the Marvel. No. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still I still have to think about the Marvel things.
But yeah,
So
dude, we can do the podcast now. I'm a
we
Mando
need.
guy
I
now.
just need to think of a name. That's the
I'm a
only
Mando guy
problem,
now.
man.
Tomorrow
I
I get scheduled for a tattoo. Like
I
here
was
I'm
thinking of like the Tito collectors or something like Kuya collectors. Like I don't know. Pancit Palabok. 1/6 scale figure. I don't know.
we'll figure that out.
Lechon Kawali. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Balut collect. Yeah, no.
Maybe next time we'll eat
We'll
balut.
figure something out.
Yeah. So all right, guys, it's getting late. But thank you for watching. And
Thank you,
definitely check
Optical
out
20
PJ.
for having me on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
All right. Ingat, Erwin. All right. Peace out,
Okay.
guys.